All right, we are back once again. Aloha, interdimensional friends, shifters, light guardians. Thank you so much for joining in once again for another one of our inspirational team meditations. My name is Brendan, Mystic Spider-Man, Skull Babylon, Wolf Shield. Welcome back. Let's get ready for another exciting evening of channeling inspiration from the cosmos. Pew, 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 pew. So for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, I would encourage you to make the jump over to YouTube. Once we have about 10 people in the YouTube chat, we'll get right into our first reading, and I'll give a bit of an introduction for those of you who may be perhaps even new to the broadcast. And so if you are new to the broadcast, please feel free to join, or please feel free to leave a 333 in the comments down below and let us know if you are new to the broadcast. And for those of you on YouTube, go ahead and drop an 1111 in the chat to be able to let me know that you guys can hear me okay. And just give me 2 seconds here. Awesome. All right, just putting out the message a little bit further. Beautiful. All right. Awesome. All right, keeping an eye on things. Things are looking good. So again, for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile. Once we have about 10 people on the YouTube chat, then we'll do our first reading for tonight. So for those of you who are here for the first time, the way how we do these readings, again, this is like not so much just like an individual reading. What we do is we do these as a collective reading, as a team reading. So it's a really, really cool way to be able to help channel some inspiration, to be able to work with the, we got a few different decks that we work with during these broadcasts. We've been doing these for like quite a while, and yeah, we've been having like a lot of fun with them too. For those of you who are tuned in, if it's your first time here, like huge thank you and welcome. Again, this is like more than just tarot. This is a chance for us to be able to like hang out as a team, for us to be able to come together, for us to be able to support one another in this journey of shifting consciousness. So again, for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to make the jump over to YouTube. By doing that, you can get involved with the first reading that we'll do. So we'll do like a draw, kind of like from the team chat, and then yeah, we'll build up some momentum. And once we have close to 10 people, we will get right into that first reading. It looks like we're almost there. We're pretty much ready to go. So again, I just want to be able to give an extra couple moments to give people a chance to be able to tune in. So again, if you're on TikTok and Instagram, do me a favor and click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And again, what we're going to do our first reading is going to be, I'm going to tell you guys a bracket for a number, and then you guys are going to get a chance to guess the number. So don't guess yet, like I haven't told you the bracket yet. And then the person who guessed that number will be the first person who helps facilitate the first reading. And again, when we do these readings, these are like team readings. These are collective readings. So if you guys enjoy some of my videos, if you've been watching me on TikTok and everything like that, then definitely feel free to stick around. And again, allow this to be like an experience for us to be able to like hang out as a team. It's a chance for you to be able to like hang out with like-minded people and just be able to vibe and just be able to be inspired and just be able to be in that place of community. So awesome. All right, keeping an eye on things. Looks like we got we got 9 people in the YouTube chat. So with that said, we'll get right into our first reading. And so again, as we do these readings, for those of you who are new, drop a 333 in the chat. And shout out to those of you who are here now. Shout out to Dandelion. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Bligoris. Shout out to Inner Flame. Shout out to Mary. And shout out to anybody else who's tuned in on other platforms. And again, if you're tuned in on Facebook, I encourage you to jump over to YouTube as well. So we'll go through and do as many readings as we can tonight, while also working towards our next Team Patreon goal. And you can see on screen, we're currently at 167. So we're working towards our next target goal is 182. So I mean, for those of you who saw before, it's like 177, but for tonight's broadcast, we're going to be aiming for 182 as well. So that will give us a little bit of an objective to be able to work towards. So again, for those of you who are new for the first time, what we're going to do our first reading, and I'm going to give you guys a number. Like I'm going to give you a bracket. I'm going to give you the chance to be able to guess this number, and then the first person who guesses this number will be the first person that we facilitate, that will help facilitate our first reading. So allow me to just be able to like get in the zone. I'm just going to pick a number here. All right, okay. Okay, I got it. All right, okay, so for everybody here, I'm going to tell you the bracket for the number. Don't make your guesses yet. You guys got 3 guesses. Only make 1 guess at a time. The first person who gets this number will be the first person who helps facilitate the first reading. And again, when we do these readings, these are like team readings. These are collective readings. So you'll help facilitate, but at the same time, it will be the collective intention of show us what we need to see. So when I work with these tarot, it's not so much like a psychic reading. It's not so much like a fortune telling. It's a chance for us to be able to use the cards as a mirror, as a symbol, for us to be able to see more of ourselves and to be able to receive information, and then for me to be able to practice kind of like channeling additional insight and inspiration to be able to help assist us on our journey. So the bracket for the number is, get ready, the bracket for the number is between 70 and 100. So for everybody here, for those of you specifically in the YouTube chat, sorry, I should have mentioned this right off the bat. These the guesses for your numbers only count if you're in the YouTube chat. So if you are in the TikTok chat, now is a great time to be able to jump over to the YouTube chat. Again, click the link in my profile to be able to jump over to there. So as those numbers start coming in, I'll start kind of keeping an eye on them. We'll do like our our like race announcer commentary. So again, for those of you who are here, the bracket is between 70 and 100. You guys got 3 guesses, 1 guess at a time, and here come the guesses. All right, we've got Sergio coming out of the gate with 79. We've got Dandelion dropping in 77. Jen Wynn comes in with an 86. Mary coming in strong with a 90. Here come some more guesses as they come around the first corner on the I like how we're just like visualizing this is like a racetrack or something like that. Ashley drops in a 72, a solid guess. Mary drops in her second guess of a 99. Megan drops in 3 guesses back to back with a 99, 65, and a 92. Reminder for everybody here, 1 guess at a time. Sergio drops in an 84. They're getting close, but not on target just yet. Who's it going to be? Allowing themselves to be able to use this opportunity to be able to tap into their psychic abilities as I send the message out there. Sergio drops in with a 95. Jen drops in with another 92. Oh, they're running out of guesses, but if you guys need more guesses, I'll tell you when you can do more guesses. Mary drops in with an 85. Dandelion drops in with an 89. Nobody's got it yet. You guys are close, though. You guys are close. All right, if you've done 3 guesses yet, you can add in another guess. So Jen drops in with an 83, and we're waiting on a few more guesses. There's only so many numbers that they can guess. There's literally 30 numbers. Surely they'll be able to get it soon enough. Ashley drops in with a second 83. Megan coming in behind them with a 76. Oh my goodness, who's it going to be? Place your bets now, boys and girls. This one is going to be down to the wire. Tarot card with like auctioneer racetrack announcer. Mary dropping in 79. I mean, if this is, I'll just let me know if you want me to like dial back on the racetrack announcer. More so just doing it just to be able to entertain you guys. Dandelion dropping in a 91. If you guys have already made 3 guesses, go ahead. You can add in some more guesses now. Nobody's got it yet. Like straight up, nobody's got it yet. I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there into the ether. I'm sure like some people are literally like plotting this out. They're like writing on the numbers and then scratching them all off. That actually theoretically could work. Again, reminder for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, your guesses only count if you're on YouTube. So jump over to YouTube right now. Click the link in my profile. Dandelion dropping in a 91. Sergio dropping in a 90. Ashley dropping in 87. No one's got it yet. Oh my goodness, who's it gonna be? Any second now. I'm sensing it. Here it comes. The future is aligning with the present moment. Jen drops in a 99. Sergio drops in an 89. Oh, their guesses, you can tell they've got a lot of heart to them, but they're just a little bit off target. Ashley dropping in a 93. Megan dropping in a 100. You guys haven't got it yet. It's like straight up. This will, watch it just be like, it's just going to be like the first like hour of the broadcast. It's just going to be us like trying to guess the number. Mary dropping in 77. Jen dropping in 75. Sergio dropping in 94. Ooh, they're running out of numbers. It's down to like probably less than 5 numbers now. I think you guys are literally, you've basically almost guessed like every number, but the specific number yet, which is pretty, that's impressive in its own right. I'm just double checking to make sure nobody's got it. Nope, nobody's got it yet. So Jen dropping in 75, Mary dropping in 77, Sergio dropping in 94. Yeah, maybe just like double check. Drop in the same number a couple times just in case. All right, okay. For those of you jumping in, we're doing. They're trying to guess the number for those of the people here in the chat between 70 and 100, and the first person to get that number is the first person who's going to help facilitate our first reading. And yeah, we still haven't got it yet. You guys are close. There it is. Dandelion lands a victory with an 82. Let's hear a nice congratulations to Dandelion. So awesome, good job, Dandelion. Good job, team. Good. That was some solid guesses. Again, I feel like I should just do a broadcast just where I'm like channeling like signals to you guys and you guys practice guessing. I feel like that could be a thing. So all right, so for those of you who are still leaving guesses, it was successfully guessed by Dandelion and the number was 82. So just to confirm, that was the number for this round. And so again, what we are going to do, we are going to get right into our first reading, and we are going to be using the Ananda Tarot deck. Again, if it's your first time here, go ahead and drop a 333 in the chat. What we're doing on this broadcast, again, we're going to be doing like a bunch of inspirational tarot reading and oracle reading, and also what we are working towards is we are working on reaching our goals on the team Patreon. So you can see down below like this here where it says team Patreon, next Patreon goal. We're currently at 176, working towards our next goal at 182. So for those of you who may be new here, Patreon is a really cool way to be able to help support the work that I do and the community with a monthly micro contribution. Plus, when you sign up there at the $11 a month or higher, you also have the option to be able to join as a leading member. And when you join as a leading member, you get access to our private community space. You get access to our collaborative work periods, access to our on-air team podcast. This Thursday's podcast, 8 p.m. EST, is going to be on spiritual lessons of relationships and love. So it's going to be pretty cool. And you also get access to me as a conscious media creation coach, which like in itself is worth like hundreds of dollars a month. So for those of you who haven't yet, go ahead and check out the Patreon. I'll post a link for that into the chat. It is also in the info for this video, and it's up in the top corner for those of you on YouTube. And again, we're going to get right into our first reading, and let's set the first Patreon sign up. Let's set our first Patreon sign up for, I would say 9:45. So 9:45, I'm setting the intention to be able to get our first Patreon sign up before 9:45. So again, if you guys are like following me on TikTok and you guys really like my work and you want to connect further with our community and you want to work even just like more one-on-one with me and be around like that awesome team, then definitely consider signing up on the Patreon with the $11 contribution, which is the leading member level. And when you do that, you can also get super dope discounts for items such as the beautiful Light Guardian crystals. So we'll explain more about that as we go. But for that said, let's get right into this first reading, and we'll keep an eye on the Patreon. So if you guys are thinking about signing up for the Patreon tonight, go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat, and the next person who signs up for the Patreon will help facilitate the next reading. But again, every reading we do is a team reading. So if you're here, then there's something here for you. So awesome. Thank you again to those of you who are here. If you're already a Patreon supporter, drop an 1111 in the chat, and please feel free to hype it up. Like, please feel free. You guys can kind of like help like invite other people to join on the Patreon, because we got an awesome team. We got a really cool thing going here. And again, we're here to be able to help like connect people and support conscious creators and leaders. So let's get right into this first reading. Dandelion, you ready? So let's do this. Aloha again to those of you who are new. Aloha to Trish. Aloha to Jen. Aloha to Derek. Aloha to where's the other username? Aloha to Sergio. Aloha to Megan. Aloha to Bill Curis. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for hanging out. Okay, let's get into our first reading. Derek, thank you for dropping the 555. Again, if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon as we're doing this reading, then we'll go right into the next reading and you'll help facilitate it. And again, our goal tonight, I want to see like if we can reach 182 tonight. Like, I'll probably be on for a few hours, but if you guys want to reach 182 tonight, that'd be super dope. But either way, let's get into this first reading and we'll just chill out here. So if you guys want to share this broadcast with your friends, please do. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in. All right, awesome. Let's do this. Okay, Dandelion, you ready? Okay. So for those of you who are here, just follow along. Dandelion's familiar, so they know a little bit what to do. Be licorice. Oh, okay. Thanks. I was like adding this accent to it. So, all right. Awesome. Newly awakened. Thank you for the, they say, best decision I've made so far in terms of joining the Patreon. So yeah, we got a really cool thing going. And again, you can get more information on the Patreon about joining as a leading member. So no rush. All right, let's get into this first reading. So for everybody here, just take a moment to close your eyes and join us as we just meditate briefly. What's really cool here is we do a collective intention. We collectively set our intention to be able to help pull a card, to be able to help focus on the intention of show us what we need to see, us as in individuals and us as a collective. So if you are here, this is an opportunity for you to kind of add your energy and to be a part of the messages that we are bringing forth in this moment, to be able to help assist us on our journey of shifting consciousness and growing together as individuals and as a team. So for everybody here, Dandelion is going to help facilitate this next reading, but you're going to help anchor in this energy. So just inviting everybody to gently close their eyes if they haven't already yet. You can put your hand on your chest, and as you listen to my voice, gently just connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. Nice, gentle exhales. Allowing yourself to just bring your awareness into this moment and just be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for all these amazing people coming together in all their badass ways, cosmic badasses uniting. Gratitude for this space, gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. For everybody here, I want you to set your intention on show us what we need to see. Us as in the collective, us as in individuals, anybody who's tuned into this broadcast. I want you to focus on that intention. Show us what we need to see. Focus on it. And I want you to speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. Keep focusing on that intention. And Dandelion, go ahead. Take a few more breaths. And when you're ready, Dandelion, type now into the chat. And we will split the deck. And that will be the card that we'll pull. For everybody else, go ahead and leave your wizard noises in the chat, like for charging the deck. And we're going to charge the deck for a bit. So go ahead, leave your like wizard noises in the chat. You'll know what I mean if you're new. You'll be like, what? What are you talking about? So, all right, charging the deck. And oh, my friends, here we are once again, going through this dance in which we learn how to transcend old limitations that may be holding us back as we continue to allow things to unwrap the many gifts that are here within this present moment so that we can rise together and own it. For we are here to support each other within this dream as we continue to awaken to more of what we have always been. So breathe into this moment, breathe into this space, for we are here to be able to see the true face underneath the mask of who we really are as we realize that we are descendants of stars. Now, says Dandelion. Bloop. Damn, those are some dope sound effects. I didn't make those noises, the card makes those noises. All right, let's see what we got here. So beautiful. All right, okay, the first card that we have pulled for tonight on with Dandelion helping facilitate, but again, for everybody here, if you are here, this is for you. The first card that we have pulled is Swords 10. So let's take a moment here to be able to pull up the information in the book. And what I'm going to do, so for those of you who are new, what we're going to do, we're going to read from the book, and then I'm going to like channel additional information and just kind of riff, and then we'll just kind of like talk about it as a team. We'll focus on some affirmations to help us kind of like anchor in this message, and yeah, and then from there we'll move into our next reading. So again, as we go through this, let's move into this next reading and let's work on reaching that next Patreon sign up. So again, I want to be able to reach our first Patreon sign up tonight. My intention is to be able to reach it by 9:45. So literally within 15 minutes. It only takes you about 5 minutes to be able to sign up onto the Patreon, but go ahead and take your time. You guys can like read it. And yeah, when you join on Patreon, you can join as a leading member, which is our private community space. And it's super awesome. And again, you can join on air for our podcast, access to our private community team space, access to me as a conscious media creation coach, discount for the shop, all that cool stuff. So let's get right into this first reading. And for everybody here, if there's things that I say that resonate with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. So thank you again, everyone. I just love hanging out with everybody here. So let's get right into this first reading. So I'm just going to like visually explain it first off. Okay. So Swords 10 of Swords. What do we have? We have this image of like multiple swords floating above the horizon, and they're kind of like pointed in various different directions, almost like crosshatched, and the swords are like kind of translucent. Obviously there's 10 of them, and again you can see kind of like the earth atmosphere below. You got some like pretty cool clouds there, some blue. Again, this is me just like literally explaining the image. And let's dive a little bit deeper and read more from the message within the book. And again, for everybody here, just allow yourself to listen, leave some comments, let us know how this resonates, and yeah, thank you for being a part of the team. This message is for you. 10 of Swords. The image. In the infinite distance of the cosmos, 10 swords appear to transform themselves into chaos above a bottomless world. Meaning, similarly to the 10 of Flames, here in the 10 of Swords, a common trait of the sequence of 10 is reached. A climactic high point at which no further improvement is possible. This means that the highest degree of consciousness is attainable, but it also means that something must be brought to an end. Human understanding tends to judge presumptuously. Every judgment that is made should be borne by the consciousness that one is his own final judge. Consequently, this means that man is responsible for his own thinking, and therefore also for his own actions. What is brought into the world as judgment originated as prejudice in thoughts. The situation requires considering all eventualities in order to be able to arrive at a concrete result. All mental abilities should be used as the situation requires thinking in larger parameters. The consciousness of the whole should not be lost sight of. It is necessary to observe all possibilities in order to arrive at the final realization that precipitates a wise decision. Too much mental activity, however, would mean that the emotional world is getting colder, indicating a loss of compassion and human warmth. Therefore, it is worth recommending letting the mind come to rest and letting thoughts stand still. In the Asian way of thought, the mind is often compared to the monkey that jumps restlessly from branch to branch. The mind, with its endless thoughts, however, is only restless until it finds its center, which is peace. The original state of the mind is pure being. All of its movements follow the goal of returning back to this state. Astrological significance: Mercury, Saturn, conjunction and opposition aspects. Keywords: mind, thinking ahead; inner orientation, becoming conscious, holistic thought; inspiration, knowledge; realistic self-assessment; disillusionment, reality check, meditation. Traditional meaning: realization, clarity, understanding, logic, reason, stillness, closure. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So we're going to dive deeper here. As we do that, huge shout out. We did just get actually our first Patreon sign up. It was actually Derek. So thank you so much, Derek. Just hold off, wait until Derek's back in the chat, and then we'll just be like, yo, thank you so much, Derek. Or we'll just like welcome him in. And Derek signed up at the $11 level. So I'll riff on this and then we'll update this stuff on in a minute just to be able to keep the momentum there. So once Derek's back in the chat, we'll give him some huge props. So that's awesome. Sweet. All right, we got some good momentum going. Okay, so 10 of Swords. This is a really important card to be able to receive because, again, a big part of this card has to do with kind of like the potentials of the mind and what really happens when we really begin to master our mind, to master our relationship with our mind. So with this card, when it comes to the swords themselves are usually symbolic of the mind. And of course, when it relates to the 10, this is about kind of like a culmination. It's about kind of like bringing us into a place of like utmost fulfillment as we get ready to begin to move into the next chapter. But before we move into the next chapter, it's important for us to be able to reflect. It's important for us to be able to kind of look back to see where we have come. So a big theme with this card is, again, to be able to like assess, to be able to review, and to be able to look back on the things that have taken place and make sure that we have extracted as many lessons as possible, to make sure that we have really gotten the wisdom that we can out of it before kind of feeling this like urge to just jump into that next stage, into that next journey, into that next part of our adventure. So even though this card is a lot about thinking ahead, it's about, again, kind of like, okay, 10 is like completion of a cycle, let's get ready to move into the next one. This is reminding you that before you kind of like jump into what's ahead, to make sure that you kind of take the time to reflect on where you have come, to really make sure that you can get as much wisdom as possible out of whatever it is that you've gone through up to this point. And so with this card, it's really encouraging us to be able to kind of like expand our consciousness by developing a deeper relationship with our thought, not only through meditation, but also through, again, like self-assessment, and also through, again, just being able to kind of like bring in like a new degree of awareness relative to just kind of our relationship to the world itself. So the consciousness of the whole should not be lost sight of. It is necessary to observe all possibilities in order to arrive at the final realization that precipitates a wise decision. Too much mental activity, however, would mean that the emotional world is getting colder, indicating a loss of compassion, human warmth. The other part with this card, and Derek, let us know if you're back in the chat, dude. Drop a comment if you're back in the chat. And Derek, if you're here, thank you so much for adding your support, dude, and happy to be able to have you on board. So again, with this card, one of the things that is really almost like forewarning is that sometimes we can really get into our head. We can really sort of get into our head, and we can really kind of like move into this place of just kind of being like very analytical, very logical, very like just kind of like facts and figures type thing. But with this card, it's reminding us that as we begin to kind of like develop more of that awareness of the mind, to make sure that we are bringing it into coherence with the heart. Like that in itself is where our power is. It is in the balance. It is in the balance of the mind and the heart. Derek, thank you so much. For everybody here, let's give a huge welcome and a huge thank you to Derek for adding their support onto the Patreon today. And dude, that's so huge, man. Super, super excited. We'll set our next goal for our next Patreon sign up by about like, I would say like I'm gonna aim for 10 p.m. So Derek, we'll go over more details in a bit. But again, just kind of hitting upon more with this card. This card really invites you to be able to understand the power of stillness at the same time, to be able to kind of like drop into a place where from stillness we can begin to see things with more clarity. And in the process of seeing things, we can also review things. You know, it's kind of like this process where, again, much like a student, if you're getting ready for like that final exam and everything like that, it's gonna require you to kind of like really bring yourself into a place of focus so that you can review the information that you've had up to this point, and then really take that next step forward to bring forth as much wisdom as you can into this culminating test, which you yourself are ready for. And that test almost demands that you move into that place of stillness. It demands that you begin to sit more with your mind, to begin seeing the bigger picture, to begin seeing not only, again, where you're coming from, but to be able to kind of like look forward to the future that you are moving towards. You know, so one of the ideas with this is kind of like really understanding that as the mind becomes something that you develop a deeper relationship with, you have this ability to be able to see into the future in terms of who you want to be, and start like kind of like aligning with it right here and now, and to start even like acting like it, to start even kind of like bringing in those characteristics. So for you, say it's like, you know, I want to be a person who, again, is like a little bit more confident in the future and everything like that. You can start bringing in that confidence now. And it's not like this idea of kind of like fake it till you make it. It's more so like a deeper thing of being able to use your mind to see into the future, and then from that to kind of be able to create a thread that connects the feelings of the future with the present moment right here and now. So again, with this card, as we, again, for a lot of us here, we are kind of at a point where we're moving into a new chapter. But before we move into that new chapter, let's make sure that we are really looking back on what lessons we just went through, and really make sure that we extract the lessons, we extract the wisdom, we extract as much as we can from it. Because again, if you go through stuff and you don't really extract the lessons, then you're going to be bound to repeat it. So this is really encouraging us to really kind of check in with ourselves. Where in the past have we perhaps done this pattern where we've gone through something where like we went through a whole scenario and then we just kind of like moved beyond it, but we didn't really reflect on it. We're just kind of like, oh man, like I'm glad that's over with, sort of thing. And no shame if that's the case. But again, if you do that, it's not uncommon for the universe to just be like, hey, like I was really hoping you were going to kind of like get a deeper lesson out of that. But since you didn't, I'm going to be real generous and I'm going to put it like a similar lesson on your path. So if you're just like, whoa, 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 like, I don't want to like repeat the same grade. That's not what I'm here to do. Then make sure that you pay attention to the grade that you just came out of to be able to prove to the universe that you're ready for what's coming next. So with this card, it's really kind of inviting us to develop a deeper maturity of our mind and to be able to use our mind to kind of like see in both directions at once from the place of stillness. Like that in itself is one of the most amazing things about the mind. You know, this idea that from the stillness, we can look into the past and we can look into the future. So using this power of stillness to be able to kind of like find where we have come from, where we are now, and where we are going. So with this card, again, just hitting it off, just wrapping it up here, a lot of this, again, just kind of has to do with realization, has to do with creating clarity. It has to do with, again, kind of like finding the balance between not just the thought, but also the coherence of the mind as well. And like it says here, therefore it is worth recommending letting the mind come to rest and letting thoughts stand still. In the Asian way, the mind is compared to a monkey that jumps restlessly from branch to branch. The mind is with its endless thoughts. However, it is only restless until it's find its center, which is peace. The original state of mind is pure being. All of its movements follow the goal of returning back to the state. So acknowledge the fact that for those of you who are on this practice of mindfulness and meditation, this is a call to like get good at finding your peace within your mind. Because when you do that, when you kind of still the mind, that gives you this ability to make sure you're looking into the past and make sure you're reflecting, make sure you're extracting the lessons, and to be able to kind of like anticipate where you're going into the future and start embodying those characteristics right now. So this card kind of reminds me of like, it's almost like the time traveler card, but again, we are time travelers right now, purely just in our ability to be able to project our consciousness from outside, from this present moment to moments beyond it, but are still ultimately connected to it. So yeah, let me know if this resonates with you. Drop an 1111 in the chat and leave an affirmation in the chat. Like write something out that's like relative to this, like an affirmation that says like, I will continue to focus on cultivating peace within my mind. Sort of things, like something like that. When you leave an affirmation into the chat, it basically tells your body that you heard it. It like confirms for your body to be like, okay, yes, I got the message. So do yourself a favor, leave a little affirmation down in the chat, and and let us know how that card resonates with you. But I think that's a really cool card to be able to start off with. Again, just kind of like the culminating powers of mind. Again, as we get ready to move into a next chapter, use that power of stillness to make sure you look back on where you have come, make sure you've gotten all the lessons, otherwise you're going to repeat them, and then prepare yourself to kind of like move into that next chapter. So don't bring old homework with you into the new grade, you know, leave what you could there, but make sure you got the wisdom and then bring forth that experience with you into the new grade so that you can be more open to receiving what is on the horizon for you, which will only continue to help you grow. So pretty cool card there, 10 of Swords. Thank you again to Dandelion for helping facilitate that. We'll get right into our next our next reading in a second. So Derek, let us know if you're still here in the chat. We'll read a couple of the affirmations as well. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in. We'll again, I want to be able to get like as many readings as we can tonight. Some of them will be a little bit like more in depth. Some of them we'll just kind of like feel it out. But again, just reading the affirmations in the chat for those of you who are dropping those in there. And for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, I encourage you to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. So there's more people tuned in on YouTube. YouTube is the primary place on the chat. But I can see you guys leaving comments on TikTok right now. Thank you again to Shayna says, I will continue to focus on the confidence I have in myself. Beautiful. Well said, Shayna. And for those of you in the YouTube chat, Dandelion says, I am reflecting and continuously learning from my experiences. Well said, Dandelion. Awesome. Yeah, and again, like that's the thing. Like if you don't reflect, if you don't like review your homework, like if you don't review your lessons, then again, you're going to kind of be like, you're destined to repeat them, so to speak. So that's why you came here. You came here to learn lessons. So, all right, okay, beautiful. We'll get ready to move right into our next reading. I just want to continue to read some of the affirmations here. Mary says, I will reflect and cultivate, bringing forth what I've learned to bring peace. Beautiful. Well said, Mary. Awesome. All right, so Derek, just as we get ready to move into our next reading, And again, Derek, you would have gotten an email from Patreon upon sign up. Make sure you join the team chat if you want to be involved as a leading member, and then leave a message in the team chat just being like, hey, I just signed up and I'd love to be involved as a leading member. So just let us know, and then I can confirm for you and add like the rest of, give you the access for leading member. But for now, Derek, you're going to help facilitate the next reading. So you get a choice, Derek, since you're signed up for the Patreon. Would you like to work with the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? And again, this is going to be a collective reading for the team, but you will help facilitate. The Lightworker Oracle deck is like very kind of like specific themes. The Tarot is a little bit more symbolic. So the Lightworker Oracle obviously goes into some super relative themes for a lot of us, but both are really cool. So whichever one you feel called to do. Lightworker Oracle deck is always exciting, but again, so is both of them. So, and the one that we just did, that was from Tarot. So Tarot or Oracle, let us know which one you would want. Mary says, or Mary already read that one. Haley says, I see the mirror of myself and am humbled. Beautiful. Well said, Haley. Awesome. All right, thanks again everyone for joining in. We're gonna get right into our next reading. We're gonna do the Lightworker Oracle tech. Thanks to again Derek for being our newest member signed up on Patreon. Let me just update the screen here and we're gonna get right into that next reading. So if you guys want to invite some friends to be able to join in, please feel free to do so. And just updating the on-screen graphics. So again, thank you to Derek and our other recent Patreon supporters. Thank you to Carly, thank you to David, and thank you to Heather as well. So you can see those names on screen down below. So again, we're working towards 182. If we can reach 182 tonight, like yo, like I'll be around for a few hours tonight, so anything's possible. Jen says, I learned that if my outflow exceeds my income, then my upkeep becomes my downfall. Conserve everything. Ooh, well said, Jen. I like that. So again, team, we're going to get right into this next reading. Let's keep an eye on the Patreon. Let's set, okay, the next Patreon sign up. Let's set the goal at intention setting next Patreon sign up by 10:15. So we're going to focus on this next reading for Derek. And again, for those of you who haven't already yet, Patreon only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. When you sign up on Patreon, it supports not only the work that I do for the community, like the videos I make on TikTok, the podcasts, the team meditations, but again, it supports the entire community as a whole. And when you join on Patreon, you also get access to our private community space. And right now, like community is so valuable, so important. So if you've been feeling like maybe that's something that your soul is looking for right now, you're looking for more of that like authentic, genuine connection, then definitely consider joining on the Patreon as a leading member. And again, within that, we have the support to be able to support you as a conscious creator. So that is a big part of it as well. So you get access to a private team space, and you get also access to be able to work with me as a conscious media creation coach to support you, access to our collaborative work periods, discounts for the shop, and the ability to join our on-air team podcasts, which are every Thursday at 8 p.m. So let's get right into this next reading. And yeah, for anybody here in the chat, please feel free, drop a 555 in the comments if you're thinking about signing up for the Patreon tonight. So Shayna, if you are on Instagram, I encourage you to click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution. So Julia, seeing your comments on Instagram, Julia talking about joining as a leading member. Absolutely, Julia. Would love to be able to have that officially. And Ghost Me wrote from earlier, I allow myself to make space for mindfulness. Beautiful. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile. And a reminder, if you guys are thinking about signing up tonight, we're gonna get right into this next reading. It's a monthly micro contribution. So it's not just like a one-off payment. I want you to do it in a way where it's like you're doing it as an investment for yourself, because it gives you a chance to be able to connect with people, to connect with team, to connect with routine. We have our team broadcasts that we do. We have our global meditations, lots of really, really cool stuff. So when you sign up, do it as like a way to be able to say like, frick yes to yourself. Like, yes, this is for me. And it's also supporting the team. So seeing a few 555 in the chat. So let's see, maybe we'll reach 182 tonight. Maybe we will. All right, Derek, let's get right into this reading. Thank you so much for adding your support and your patience, and for everybody here. What we're going to do, Derek, I'm going to invite everybody to drop into their heart space. We'll just do a quick little meditation. And then from there, yeah, Haley, let me One second, I just want to reply to Haley real quick. Yeah, Haley, we'll get you synced up with leading member stuff as we go. Like Haley, if you want to be able to jump on the Patreon either now or later, it's up to you. But yeah, either way, we will get you synced up with that as well. So, all right, okay, let's get right into this next reading. And just pulling up the chat here for the TikTok and Instagram. So, Haley, I'll follow up with you on a DM as well. And for that said, let's just focus on this next reading. So, beautiful. All right, awesome. Okay, cool. Okay. So, for everybody here, what we're going to do, we're just going to take a moment to be able to drop into our heart space. So for everybody here, just take a moment. Again, Derek's going to help us facilitate. And Derek, go ahead and type in the chat. Just be like, I'm ready. I just need to make sure that you're here. And again, what we're going to do, we're going to invite you to just kind of like go through this meditation with us. And then from there, we are going to invite you to be able to specifically say now in the chat when I prompt you, when I direct you. And then from there, we'll split the deck and we'll pull the next card. And again, it'll be a collective reading for the card. So awesome. All right. Okay. Sweet. All right, thanks again, everyone. So for everybody here, just go ahead, take a moment just to be able to drop into your heart space. Just close your eyes and just take a few breaths. Just breathing here as you allow yourself to just be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the sacred digital space, gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. And as you're in this space of gratitude, Derek, and for everybody here, setting the intention of show us what we need to see, us being individuals, us being the collective as well. Derek and everyone, I want you to focus on that intention. Show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Derek, take a few breaths here, and when you are ready, type now into the chat as you listen to your intuition. For everybody else, go ahead and drop your comment with your wizard noises in the chat, and we'll charge the deck a little bit more. And oh, my friends, I am so grateful once again to be gathered here in this spiral that never truly ends as we continue to unfold throughout this dream, as we continue to awaken to all of what we have always been, bringing forth this esoteric wisdom that is within you and me as we continue to expand our branches and connect our roots with the trees. For we are the children of this earth, and now is the time for our rebirth. There we go. All right, okay. Got this card pulled for Derek. Let's see which card we got. Ooh. Okay. All right, the card that we have pulled for Derek, our newest Patreon supporter, is number 4, Paradigm Shift. So give me 2 seconds here. We're just going to open up the deck to be able to dive a little bit deeper. Yeah, this is a pretty cool card. We had this one of the broadcasts that we did a while ago, but again, it's always super relative. I like when cards pop up like even fairly regularly because again, we always have new people tuned in, so it's always an awesome opportunity for us to be able to dive a little bit deeper with the messages as well. So, all right, okay, team. Working our way through this. And again, for everybody here, if you are here, this message is for you. So, visually explaining what we have here on the card first and foremost. So, beautiful. Awesome. All right. So, yeah, I know. Paradigm shift, right? So visually, what do we have here? We have this very, very powerful image of this female figure, this woman sitting in front of a door, and then you've kind of got like this very interesting face. How you interpret it is entirely up to you, but you can see it's kind of got like this soft look, kind of like got like their hands around this door as if kind of like doing a little bit of magic. Just these very powerful colors. You can see even around the door, there's kind of like symbols. Almost like sigils around the door, and you can see this kind of like very powerful red, also kind of like reflected in her red hair as well. And maybe this is supposed to be kind of like the same person, hard to say, but at the same time, You can also see they're kind of like sitting almost like in a pastoral countryside where you can see the trees and everything as well. So very, very powerful image. And you can see the door is actually cracking open. So it's like a door to a new world. So again, that's just me literally explaining what's on the image. And now we're going to dive a little bit deeper. And again, as we do this, we'll work on getting our next sign up for the Patreon. And again, the goal for the next Patreon sign up is, I was saying by about 10:15, we're going to work on getting that next Patreon sign up. Awesome. Julia, a reminder, if you guys are on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. For everybody here, thanks so much. Working on getting that next Patreon sign up as we go. But again, let's focus on this card. If you are here, this message is for you. So here we go. Number 4, paradigm shift. You are undergoing radical growth in your belief systems. Now is the time to challenge old attitudes and question previous expectations. You are in an extraordinary time. Great leaps forward can be made in a moment. The world you thought you knew can suddenly break open, and a new world can become your reality. Excuse me. Buddhists sometimes speak of the beginner's mind, that which assumes nothing and therefore is open to everything. A spiritual psychologist might call this the inner child, as it is innocent, curious, unfixed, and always learning. It doesn't get stuck on an answer having to be one way. There is openness to the unknown with curiosity instead. Old souls can sometimes find it hard to recapture their knowingness. Asking someone with a lot of life experience who may have become a bit world weary to drop expectations and look at the world through fresh eyes can be a challenge. Yet life becomes much more energizing and interesting when you are open and don't hold expectations about what it will be. We'll reread that again. Yet life becomes much more energizing and interesting when you are open and don't hold expectations about what life will be. Suddenly, you are receptive to the universe helping you in ways that in the past you did not believe possible, all because you kept an open mind. If you are feeling that you don't really know yourself, your relationships, or your place in the world as you once did, if you are feeling that what you once held to be certain now seems to be a little shaky, these are signs that you are going through a paradigm shift. This will bring new perceptions that will free you to be in the world in new ways. You will find yourself shedding old limits, fears, and misconceptions. Again, if this resonates with you, go ahead and drop some 1111s in the chat as we go. And a huge shout out to Jennifer. Jennifer just signed up on the Patreon. Jennifer, if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know, and we'll give you some huge shouts in a second as we move through this, just focusing on the card for now. Again, you will find yourself shedding old limits, fears, and misconceptions. You are stepping beyond what you have known. You are a bit like a traveler in a new city, feeling awkward until she gets the lay of the land and how things operate in that new place. As you trust the unexpected and unknown, the universe will be able to help you in unexpected and previously unknown ways. I like that. I'm going to reread that. As you trust the unexpected and unknown, the universe will be able to help you in unexpected and previously unknown ways. If you find yourself questioning the views of mass media or spoken in the conversation that those around you are having, take heart and know that you are awakening from a fear-based world in a love-filled reality. Your confusion will soon transform into joy in discovering that you are free and have no reason to be afraid. You are encouraged by the universe to embrace the power you have to be a free thinker, accept the accelerated mental shift happening for you, even if it creates temporary uncertainty or discomfort. Dare to think thoughts of love rather than lower your vibration by choosing thoughts of fear. Trust for something helpful and empowering is happening in your soul. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper here. Give me 2 seconds here. Super, super powerful card. So again, This one here, like, again, the concept of paradigm shift, it's interesting because like a lot of people, the word paradigm isn't even like something that's like really in their lexicon. They hear it and they're just like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? So again, paradigm is a way of seeing things, a lens and through which we see things. And so of course this card, it is emphasizing the importance of the journey that each and every single one of us are on. We are literally on a journey of shifting paradigms. We are literally on a journey of seeing things in one way and being able to see them in a new way, a bigger way, a more magical way, a more interconnected way. And so there is a paradigm that is shifting, and yet it is not just happening on a collective scale, but it is being initiated because of us being able to allow this vision to come forth through the connection to our heart, by allowing us to be able to see the world through the heart space, not just the mind. Kind of with the previous card, this is where you'll actually find that the cards here kind of like add on to each other as we go. But again, with this card here, it's really encouraging you to understand the importance of what is happening right now. There is a paradigm shift that is taking place within this world. And again, what is this paradigm shift? In a lot of ways, it is a shift from kind of this like 3D perception to a 5D consciousness. And what do I mean by that? Some of you have heard me explain this. 3D would be like looking at two trees in a forest and you see two trees and you're like, oh, that's one tree, that's two trees. They're clearly two separate trees. 5D perspective would be higher up. It'd be kind of like from an airplane, so to speak, from a literal paradigm shift. And instead of just seeing one or two trees, what you see is you see the forest. And you see the forest as like a single organism. So what's happening here within our paradigm shift is literally the shift of being able to understand not only our interconnectedness, but our place as multidimensional beings awakening within this dream. And so again, with this, it is encouraging us to be able to understand. I like the idea that it says here, life becomes much more energizing and interesting when you're open and don't hold expectations of what it will be. Suddenly, you're receptive to the universe in new ways that in the past you did not believe, all because you kept an open heart. So the specific paradigm shift that it's talking about here is, again, being able to develop a deeper relationship with the universe and being able to understand, kind of like with the previous card, that it is literally here to evolve you. And I'll say something really powerful that for some of you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I needed to hear that, right? But there's a very powerful idea that I think we have to be able to keep in mind. The universe is not necessarily here to just quote unquote make you happy. The universe is here to evolve your consciousness. And so when we really begin to understand that, we can begin to deepen our place, deepen our trust into a really, really sound place within our heart, where regardless of whatever happens to come across our path, we can still be open to the idea that it is still something bigger within our fortune. Kind of what we were talking about yesterday when we had the Wheel of Fortune card, where it's not even so much this idea of thinking of things as good luck and bad luck. It's merely fortune. And to understand that, again, kind of like the karma and dharma of things, your dharma is kind of your life path of fulfillment, and the karma is kind of this energy that pushes you onto it. A paradigm shift is understanding that this karma and dharma exists in the first place, that you have a path that the universe is here to support you on. And so once you kind of realize that, once you kind of shift into this paradigm of realizing that, again, you know, even the paradigm of understanding that you are more than just like than just like the time is not linear quite in the way that you think it is. You are not just this single, you know, physical being, that you literally expand through multiple dimensions, literally into the future as well. And this future before us is something that is, again, connected to us here and now, and the universe is literally doing what it can to be able to help guide us through it. And it will do it in ways that we might not really expect. But with this card, it's really reminding us to be able to open our hearts, to be able to trust in the process that whatever is happening is there for us. But it's up to us to be able to shift our paradigm, to be able to change not only the way we see things, but also our attitude towards the way we see things, by being able to openly embrace the challenges and the uncertain circumstances with not only flexibility, but also like a deep courage, with an element of grace. Kind of like, again, I kind of remind ourselves is like, as we continue to evolve our consciousness, it's almost like we can kind of become like Neo from the Matrix, you know, when like the agent's kind of punching him and he's just like, and he just kind of like moves like really fluidly, really smoothly, in a very, very simple but powerful way. This is where we can get to. This is kind of the paradigm shift where, again, we can move from this paradigm shift of feeling like we're separate. And when we feel like we're separate, we also become more vulnerable. and then we become more easily controlled. So with this card, it's kind of understanding kind of the circumstances that are happening in the world right now, that because of the illusion of separation, people are more fear-based, even because of the illusion of death, right? People like this is why, again, you know, back in the day, this is kind of a side note, but back in the day, like, there was reference to like reincarnation in the Bible, and then eventually they took it out of the Bible because they found it harder to control people if they thought that they had more than one life. So even just this paradigm of thinking people are so deeply ingrained into this physical reality, into this 3D body, that, again, you know, it kind of like shifts them into this place where they'll do whatever they can because they're literally scared. They're scared of like the limitations of their own mortality. But what happens when you kind of like bring forth with you this bigger cosmic wisdom, this bigger cosmic soul, and again, encouraging you to really start thinking for yourself? Are you living your life based on someone else's paradigm? Are you just kind of like following along with whatever circumstance they lay out in front of you? Or do you have the ability to like kind of like see through the bullshit and to be able to question deeply, to be able to use discernment, and to be able to continue to bring yourself into a place of new confidence, new capability, new decision-making process, and new ways of leadership as well? So with this card, it's about being able to understand the process of how our paradigms are shifting on a multiple end of spectrums relative, again, to us understanding that we are so deeply connected, to us understanding that we are multidimensional beings, to us understanding that we are dreamers awakening within the dream, to us understanding the power of love. Like literally, like the power of love itself is such a powerful thing. And to understand that that power of love is something that is contagious, that is something that we can share and kind of like seed into the hearts of others as they continue to become inspired simply by us being who we are. So there's an invocation here that I'll read a little bit in the chat. And again, just kind of rereading some stuff here. You are encouraged by the universe to embrace the power you have to be a free thinker. So this is the call to action for every single one of us here. We need you. We need you to think for yourself. We need you to kind of like understand that the paradigms are shifting, and one of those paradigms is us moving into more of our sovereignty. Because when we are in our place of sovereignty, then we can help awaken others as well. So accept the accelerated mental shift happening for you, even if it creates temporary uncertainty or discomfort. Dare to think thoughts of love rather than lower your vibration by choosing thoughts of fear. Trust that something helpful and empowering is happening to your soul. So how do you feel? How do you feel about just that paradigm of instead of just being like, oh no, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. But what happens if every single circumstance is still happening for your soul, even in the challenging circumstances? And I know that's going to be obviously difficult relative to given situations, but again, even in the challenging circumstances, what do we get out of that? We get wisdom. We get the wisdom to be able to know like right from wrong. We get the wisdom to be able to learn how to heal as well. So this is a very, very powerful card that, again, acknowledges that even for some of us, we may kind of be in this stage where things may feel a little bit confusing, but to also deeply trust this process. And again, just reminding each other how valuable it is to be able to connect with community and to be able to support one another on this path as we continue to anchor into a new paradigm. And what is this new paradigm? Again, it is a paradigm of community, it is a paradigm of a team, it is a paradigm of again, kind of like this collective consciousness, holistic view of the world, and understanding that we are not separate, but we still honor each other's differences as well. So this is a very, very powerful card that, again, is both calling us into our individual power as well as the power for the entire team, and encouraging us to be able to actively play our role in helping shift the paradigms of the collective by being able to help anchor into more love within our heart. As simple as that sounds, like, it's incredibly, incredibly powerful. And again, so thank you again, everyone, for like echoing the energies of this. So go ahead, drop an 1111 down in the chat if what I just riffed on, what I just channeled resonates with you, and leave an affirmation in the chat relative to this reading. So let me know, like when you do a little affirmation in the chat, say like I am or I will, some sort of written affirmation in the chat that tells your body that you heard the message. And then it's like, okay, I just learned something, embodiment. Because again, I don't want you guys to just like, it's a difference if you just like listen to this, but you need to be able to like embody these messages when you're ready for it. So All right, I have to restart the feed on TikTok and Instagram. So we're just gonna take a quick little refresh here, intermission. But yeah, go ahead. Let us know how that resonated with you in the comments. And again, like this is such a card, like such a card for the ages. Like we are going through that paradigm shift, and what are we shifting into? We are shifting into a paradigm of self-empowerment, of sovereignty. All right, okay, just restarting on TikTok and Instagram. Go ahead, leave those affirmations. I'll read those on screen. All right. 1 second here, just getting caught up. All right, okay. Reading the affirmations in the chat. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we're just getting back into us doing some just a conclusion for the reading that we just did on the paradigm shift card. So, Dandelion says, I trust the universe and myself. Mary says, we are all in this together, fam. Absolutely. Cosmic Moon says, my mind and heart are open and ready to embrace love. Beautiful. Megan says, I will trust the universe. Awesome. Blue Diamond says, I am ready to embrace and accept love. Awesome. Beautiful. Well said, everyone. Well said. Any other affirmations relative to the paradigm shift card, please feel free to leave those comments down in the chat below. And we're going to get right into our next reading. And again, huge shout out, huge thank you to, we did get two Patreon signups literally as we were doing that reading. So that's huge, like huge bonus points. We have both Jennifer and we have both Cosmic Moon who have signed up at the $5 level. So again, Jennifer and Cosmic Moon, thank you so much. And for everybody else, just give a nice warm thank you to both of them in the chat. And again, Jennifer, okay, Jennifer, I can see you in the chat. Jennifer, you signed up first, so Jennifer, you can help facilitate the next reading. And then Jamie, if you want to be able to help facilitate the reading after that, of course, you're more than welcome to. And we'll keep working towards more Patreon signups as we go. And again, for those of you who are signed up at the like any level, if you're signed up at the $5 level, you can always upgrade to the leading member level as you go. Contributions don't process until the 1st of July. So what we're if you sign up tonight, like you can literally like nothing goes through until a little bit later. So awesome. So thank you again, Jamie. Thank you again. Super appreciate your support. It means so much. Cosmic Moon is like one of our like OG supporters over the years. So beautiful. Haley, reading your message. I grow into a new state of consciousness in which has always existed, and I am only now ready to receive new messages. Beautiful. Awesome. Wonderful. All right. Okay. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, yeah, the feed just had to restart after 1 hour. That just happens. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, and then you won't get kicked out of the readings in the future. I know there's like a few people on TikTok and Instagram as the feed dropped, so make sure that you don't get kicked out of the feed by clicking the link in my profile and joining in on YouTube. I'm just going to take 1 second here to be able to upgrade the graphics on the graphics on the screen. So we are currently at, I guess we're at 179 now. So that's awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for adding your support. We're pretty close. Like we could easily reach 182 pretty soon. So again, shout out to Jamie, and shout out to Jen as well, and to our other recent Patreon supporters, Derek, Carly, David, and Heather. Beautiful. All right. Well, we'll set a goal for next Patreon sign up. I would say like 10:30 is right around the corner, so I would say even just by 10:45, and we'll work through these next readings as quick as we can. And yeah, we'll like I think we can reach 182 tonight, because I know I saw like a couple like other 555s in the chat as well. So all right, Derek, thank you again, man. Super excited to be able to have you on board, dude. And again, for Jen, confirm for me if you're ready to facilitate this next reading. I apologize, everybody, my hair. I know you guys keep like, I keep like having to like read, just I always mess with my hair. Once we get to 200 Patreon supporters, I'll get a haircut. So I promise. So all right, yeah. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. The Instagram and TikTok feed restart on every hour. So if you jump over on YouTube, you won't get kicked out. Because I know, like, I didn't even realize you guys got kicked out like halfway through the reading, so I apologize. But if you don't want that to happen, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. There's currently there's almost like 15 people tuned in on YouTube right now. So Jen, awesome, thank you so much. And Jen, I think you mentioned, are you fairly new as well, Jen? If you're new, drop, for anybody else who's new-ish here, drop a 333 in the comments. Yo, Kristen, thanks for joining in. Awesome. All right. Yes, we are all one. Fractures of the same source, co-creating this beauty. Beautiful. Well said, Jen. All right, Jen, let me know if you're ready. And again, you get to be able to choose which deck we're going to go into. And again, Derek, thank you so much for helping facilitate that reading, dude. That was a great card for the team. So, Jen, let us know. Would you like the Oracle deck or the Tarot deck? The Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? So, Lightworker Oracle deck was the one that we just had. And again, the Tarot deck is a little bit more traditional, but still really dope. So, awesome. Thank you again to Licorice. Thank you to Sunny. Thank you to Funny Girl. Thank you to anybody else. So again, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Like, this is live, and we're live on YouTube at the same time. So if you're watching on TikTok and Instagram, I encourage you to watch on YouTube. That way so you don't accidentally get like booted from the chat as well. So awesome. Haley, thank you again, Haley, for joining in for our first time. So again, so for everybody here, we'll get into the next reading. And what we're going to do after that, we'll do another reading for Jamie. And then we'll keep an eye on Patreon signups. So we're working towards next Patreon signup, which will be 180. And I want to be able to set the target goal for that for 10:45. So that's like still like half hour away. So again, if anybody is ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon, again, the Patreon, I'll just explain it real quick. And Jen, just let me know which card you would like, which deck you would like to be able to work with. And again, for everybody here, these are like team readings. So if you are here, it's not just like one person at a time. It's like team readings. It's really cool. So again, for everybody here, if you guys are like following me on TikTok, if you guys are fans of my work, like the work that I do for the community is made possible because of Patreon supporters. You guys help like make that energetic vote to be able to help me in doing what I do. But when you guys support on my Patreon, which is a monthly micro contribution of your choice, if you support at the $11 a month level, you get to join as a leading member, which is like a lot of value. Like, it's way more than $11. We just put it at $11 to be able to keep it affordable, since being able to build the team is like such an important part of the objective. But when you join as a leading member at the $11 a month, you get access to our private community space. You get to join into our collaborative work periods for conscious creators. So if you want to be able to like learn how to create cool TikTok videos, like similar to how I do, or just be in a space where you can like ask me for feedback on content creation and things like that, that is definitely something that I would encourage you to look into. And again, you also get to join our work periods, and you also get to join our on-air team podcast. So the podcast this week, Thursday, 8 p.m. is on spiritual lessons of relationships and love. So that will be a really, really exciting one. So I'm looking forward to being able to have more people tuned in. So again, if you guys are thinking about signing up for the Patreon tonight, drop a 555 in the chat just to be able to let us know. And it only takes about 5 minutes to sign up onto the Patreon. And again, you guys can pause and cancel your memberships. It's super flexible. Like, it's super, super flexible. And again, if you sign up tonight, contributions don't go through until July 1st. And when you sign up, you can also get discounts for exclusive items such as the Light Guardian crystals. You can also get the Auralite 23s. This is just one of them. I got a bunch. The Auralite 23s, this is the oldest crystal on Earth, 1.2 billion years old. It's super, super cool and pretty rare. So again, if you want to be able to get discounts for the shop, signing up on if you sign up for the Patreon, you can literally make your money back through like a single item purchase. So let's get right into our next reading. Jen, confirm for me, Jennifer, confirm for me in the chat if you would like to be able to work with the Oracle deck or the Lightworker or the Tarot deck. So Oracle or Tarot, let me know which one you would like to be able to use. Shout out again to people just joining in from Conscious Conversations, which was another one of our community members facilitated discussion circles. Shout out to Chris and Rachel. Shout out to Morphic. Shout out to Kristen. And again, shout out to new people. Shout out to Sasha. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Licorice. And yeah, Funny Girl, just seeing your comments on the TikTok. If you click the link to join on YouTube, the link for the Patreon is like right there in the information for the YouTube, and it's also as a separate link through my profile. So all right, okay. Funny Girl, I assume your name might be Jen, maybe. Okay, Jen, if okay, I just need to confirm. Okay, Jennifer Mayer. Is that Jen Win in the chat? Let me know if that's you, Jen. I just need to confirm, because if you would like, you're able to help facilitate this next reading that we are going to do. So I just need you to confirm and be like, yep, I'm ready. Like, that's me. And also to be able to let me know what deck you would like to use, and we'll get right into the next reading. And again, we'll keep an eye on working towards getting another Patreon sign up. I would say, again, by like 10:45. So we got a little bit of time. And I feel like we're going to reach our 182 goal tonight, which is dope. So, awesome. Morphic, glad you could hang out. How was the broadcast? How'd it go? Feel free to give us a quick update. So, for those of you joined in on TikTok or Instagram, feel free to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. I encourage you to do that. That way so you don't accidentally get booted from the TikTok broadcast. And again, we'll get right into our next reading once Jen has confirmed in the chat what deck they would like to be able to use. So Jen, if you haven't yet, go ahead and let us know. There's always like a bit of a delay on the video, so that's why. So like your guys' comments are like about 30 seconds behind what actually comes up on camera in the moment. So beautiful, awesome. Thank you again, everyone, so much. Again, what we got going on here, like it's not just tarot readings. This is us building a team. This is us coming together as a global team of shifters. For those of you who may be new, you're most welcome to be able to join in for our team meditations Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST. So you can tune into those through YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed. And yeah, they're pretty, like they're super dope. Like they're really good. They start your day with magic. So Jen Win, if you haven't yet, please feel free to confirm if that's you in the chat. Otherwise, we will go to Jamie next, Cosmic Moon, and then we will facilitate the reading, and then we will get right into that. So Jen, let me know if that's you in the chat who signed up for the Patreon, and let me know if you would like to be able to use the Oracle deck or the Tarot deck. Which one do you would like to use? And thank you again, everyone, for joining in and just for adding your patience. And once we've confirmed, it looks like Jen is just waiting to be able to so again, there's just a bit of delay in the comments, so I assume the confirmation on which deck Jen is wanting to use is going to be in the chat any moment now, and then we'll get right into that next reading. Beautiful, awesome. Thank you again. Aloha, funny girl. Thank you again for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. So again, Jen, if you haven't yet, let us know if you like the Oracle deck or the Lightworker or the Tarot deck, and let us know that you're ready, and we'll walk you through the facilitation for this next reading. So, awesome, beautiful, Morphic, giving some updates on how the other broadcast went tonight. So, all right, Jen, I think Jen, Jen, make sure you are watching live. Click the live button. I think you are behind in the feed. All right, I'm just making sure because I think Jen is responding to something I said like several minutes ago. So we're just gonna make sure that Jen is up to speed. Confirm which deck you would like, and make sure you are watching up to the real-time live feed. Okay, all right, okay, so Jen is calling for the Tarot deck, so we're gonna move into the Tarot deck. And again, I just need to make sure that Jen is up to speed on the live feed as well. So okay, all right, okay, so thank you again, everyone, for your patience. We're gonna get right into this reading. I just need to confirm that Jen is like synced up properly, because I think they like left the chat and came back. So sometimes if you do that, then yeah. Okay, cool, perfect. All right, thank you again, Jen, one of our newest Patreon supporters. All right, okay, all right, so we're gonna get right into this reading. So for everybody here, reminder that when we do these readings, this is like a team tarot collective reading. So if you are here, there is a message for you. What we do is we set the intention, show us what we need to see, us being individuals, us being the collective. We're going to walk through the instructions for Jen, and then Jen's going to help us facilitate the card. They're going to help like draw the card. And so Jen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of like drop everybody into meditative space, and then I'm going to instruct you. You're going to take a few breaths, and I'm going to tell you to type now when you are ready. And then once you do that, we will facilitate the card. So perfect. All right, so for everybody here, thank you so much, everyone, for adding your energy and for holding space. For those of you who are new, drop a 333 in the chat, and let's get right into our next reading. So for everybody here, go ahead. Take a moment to just close your eyes and just connect with your breath. Beautiful. As you breathe here and just listen to my voice, allow yourself to just be in this space of gratitude, a space of kindness, a space of compassion. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive, gratitude for this sacred digital space. As you're in this space of gratitude for everybody here, take a moment here to just be able to focus your intention towards the intention of show us what we need to see. Us being individuals, us being the collective. So for everybody here, I want you to focus on that intention. Show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. Jen, continue to focus on this intention. Take a few breaths and listen to your intuition. And when you are ready, type now into the chat. And for everybody else, go ahead and leave your wizard noises in the chat as we do this. So... And oh, the many things that we will see when we allow ourselves to simply be here within this place, within this time, as we continue to help shift the paradigms. For the story is unfolding within each and every breath as we continue to rise up and do our best. So thank you for being a part of this global team, Light Guardians and Shifters uniting throughout this dream. Now, says Jen. Beautiful. All right, let's see what card we have here. Again, I love just being able to flip over the cards. Like, oh, what do we got? What do we got? Beautiful. All right. Okay. So the card that we have pulled, again, with Jen helping facilitate it. And I'm just reading you guys' comments. Wee boo 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 for the wizard noises. The card that we have pulled, again, with Jen helping facilitate, but again, for the entire team, is Flames 6. Check out that Merkaba floating in the sky, basically. Let's dive a little bit deeper and see what the message is here. So thank you again, everyone. We're going to get right into this reading. And as we're doing this, let's keep an eye on the Patreon and work towards that next Patreon sign up. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to jump over to YouTube, where you can also find the Patreon link. And again, I'll post the Patreon link into the chat as we go. So again, setting the goal for the next Patreon sign up by 10:45. So if you guys are a fan of my work, definitely signing up for the Patreon. Not only supports me, but it helps support you. So thank you again, everyone. Let's do this. All right, explaining this visually, and we'll go through this one as smoothly as possible, and then we'll get right into Jamie's, and then we'll keep going from there. So let's look at the card here visually. What do we have here? We have a 6-pointed star. Again, kind of like in the shape of the 2D Merkaba, kind of like the almost even like the seed of life pattern as well, or the Star of David. And you can see this beautiful mandala behind it. Again, very kind of like snowflake-esque, very classical. This beautiful image of just kind of floating in the sky above this rich country landscape down below it. And you can see a little bit of the night sky. And you can also see like a little bit of a pillar. Like it's kind of like this is like a different color. You can kind of see like on the side, it's like a little bit of a different shade. So it's kind of like almost like a beam, kind of like almost bordering it, so to speak. So again, beautiful, beautiful image. That's just me explaining the literal. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So again, for everybody here, if you are here, this message is for you. So again, those of you on TikTok and Instagram, do me a favor, click the link in my profile, jump over to YouTube, and let's dive into this. Jen, thank you again for your recent Patreon support. And if you are here, this message is for you. So here we go. 6 of Flames. The image. Rising above all earthly things, a majestic 6-pointed star radiates from the clarity of the universe and bathes a pastoral countryside on earth in a state of peaceful harmony. As a result of previous efforts, man finally reaps recognition and honor. Typical of successful undertakings are a positive attitude regarding one's intentions and goal-oriented use of one's strength. The community recognition which brings inherent success requires double the amount of responsibility and increased attentiveness. Due to his position, man stands in the center of public events. Besides being responsible for the duties that social status invokes, his actions and character serve as a role for the collective consciousness. A meaningful existence makes the responsibility that is to be born a pleasure rather than a burden. In the centeredness of self, the security is found that is necessary to fulfill his duties. Again, as I'm reading this, go ahead. You guys can drop some 1111s if anything I'm saying is resonating with you as you hear it. Therefore, man can let his inner strengths rest in peace. The victory that comes is not due to the oppression of someone else, but due to the control over the base nature of man. Whoever conquers another has strength. Whoever conquers himself has power. I like that. Man stands on the sunny side of life. Relative to the outer success, inner life also takes on a new dimension of awareness. With the increase of quality of life, the qualities of heart also increase, as well as the capacity to find and recognize inner happiness. Whoever recognizes the connection of his own being with the divine, being on a deeper level of identity, remains in spite of the honor that is his. Let me reread that. Whoever recognizes the connection of his own being with the divine being on a deeper level of identity remains, in spite of the honor that is his due, modest in all walks of life without succumbing to arrogance. Astrological significance: Sun, Jupiter, trine, sextile aspects. Keywords: initiative, goal-oriented, strength, leadership qualities, responsibility, satisfaction, peacefulness, collected strength, awareness of responsibility, quality of life, self-confidence, sunny side of life. Traditional meaning: recognition, honor, victory, success, fame, power, self-control, reward. Okay, so this is a really, really cool card, and for those of you who are tuned in last night for the readings that we did last night, you guys would kind of like recognize that last night there was this big theme that kept popping up, the theme of the Hierophant. And so this card really kind of like brings us into another level of that, where this card is really reflecting on our ability to be able to step into our roles as leaders, but to be able to use that power of influence to be able to make positive impact. So rather than just being able to kind of like become popular purely for the sake of popular, it's like, yo, how can I allow myself to be able to expand my bubble? How can I allow myself to become more of who I am so that I can continue to create a positive impact, so that I can create a positive impression? Again, success and popularity are two different things. And for a lot of us here are conscious creators, you might have a video that might reach like 1 million people, but did it change something within their heart? Did it reach something within their soul? This card is reminding us to be able to position ourselves in places of community so that we can assist others, while at the same time continuing to see ourselves show up. I know a lot of people, we kind of have this natural resistance. We're like, oh, like, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want to be the leader. I don't want to be the celebrity. I don't want to be popular type thing. A lot of us are so humble, and that humility in its sense will almost be our downfall if we don't learn to balance it. Because again, you can still be humble while being of service. And sometimes what we need to do is to be able to be the portal for synchronicity to occur. We need to be the portal to bring community together. So when we allow ourselves to be able to bring others into the shared space, it allows them to be able to share into the success of the group. And then this idea builds where the collective strength of the group is inherently present within all of the members. So when you get everyone kind of like working towards things in a really intentional way, it allows all of us to be able to anchor into that common narrative, into that common vibration, into that common story, into that common courage. So for this card, it really kind of reminds me almost as if like the nature of the wolf pack in a lot of ways, where again, it's like the strength of the pack is the strength of the wolf. So again, with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to reflect on what is needed for the future. And one of the things that is needed is us coming together in coherence as community, is us being able to bring our individual strengths, but then to ignite an even bigger light for more to see as a result of us being able to serve each other from the heart through a place of communal support. So with this, it's also about being able to understand that when you meditate by yourself, that's one thing. But when you meditate with others, that sends out an even powerful vibration, an even more powerful vibration. And one of the most important things that needs to be understood right now, This is our hope. This is where we win. This is our victory. It is in us coming together. Because right now, the way how things are functioning in this world, we do not literally have to change everything. That in itself would be incredibly overwhelming. But if we work on shifting our own consciousness, stepping into our own leadership, and bringing people together, what we need is 1% of the world to be able to awaken their consciousness. And when 1% of the world awakens their consciousness, it affects the rest of the hologram. It literally has this ripple effect where the rest of the world begins to match the coherence of that 1%. Like they literally demonstrate this within quantum mechanics through the aspect of what is known as superfluidity. So with this, it's inviting us to be able to bring in this confidence here and now that what we are working towards is not a fruitless goal. It is actually quite fruitful. And so the importance of us being able to come together is so valuable right now, because we need to practice this for the ongoing continuation so that we can continue to invite more people. Because right now, even within our community, one of the things that's really powerful for community is to not just build up a community super fast, but to be able to kind of like build it nice and organically and slow. And then you create like, you have an epicenter, and then you have like a circle around that. And then that circle helps create the foundations, which welcomes in the next circle. For those of you who are in this community, you guys already have an experience with this. You guys are already actively partaking in a lot of what this card is about, where again, it's this process of being able to create foundation in community that's allowing us to be able to invite more people to take part in the shared story over time with some like really solid foundations. And it's from these solid foundations that we can really begin to drop into a space of collective confidence, into collected strength, but also responsibility, understanding that it takes a team to operate a ship, and each and every single one of us has our each our own unique abilities, has our own unique role to kind of play within this quantum spaceship that we are flying together. This is like a quote from Mr. Rogers, like, in a way, you have already won at life because you are the only one who can be you. You're the only one that can do what you do. And within a team of superheroes that we are building, because that is essentially what we are doing, like Mystic Spider-Man here recruiting the other cosmic superheroes so that we can build this team of like spiritual Avengers, quite literally. Like, this is actually the story. Again, it's about being able to activate the leader within inside each and every single one of us, while also understanding that leadership is often a very soft thing. It's a very gentle thing. It might just be kind of like an invitation. Just be like, hey, we got this event coming up. Do you guys want to take part? Hey, we got a Zoom call coming up. Hey, like, feel free to join into our team chats, tune into our broadcasts and things like that. And over time, this continues to kind of really ripple out, and it creates this momentum, which again moves us towards this process of victory, removes us into this process of more magnification of the intention and the signal that we are sending out. So this card is a very powerful card. Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. Absolutely. Well said, Cosmic Moon. Such a powerful card. And so again, with this card, I think it's also honoring the work that we are doing. It is saying that, again, what is our work? To work on ourselves, and then to be able to find the others, to be able to come as a team, and then to be able to anchor in space so that with that team, we can begin to invite more people to the team. We can invite more people to the story. And what is the story? The story is a collective shift in consciousness. Like, this is the most exciting time to be alive right now. Like, beings all across the universe are looking in on what we are doing right now. And if you are here and if you are tuned into this broadcast, like, you are right in the thick of this story. You are right at the front lines of this shift in consciousness. And each and every single one of us has a role to play. And how do we do that? By shifting our own consciousness, by awakening that which is within inside of us, by making the unconscious conscious, by cultivating our own power, by connecting with community, by holding each other accountable, by stepping into our own leadership, by continuing to, again, move forward with responsibility and to be able to celebrate the success that comes along the way in the little ways and the big ways. And that in itself is one of the most beautiful things about teamwork, is the idea that victory is a shared success. Each and every single day when we show up and we do these broadcasts and we're doing our team meditations Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST, like, that is victory. That is us succeeding simply by showing up with that intention. We have already won. And so let us align with that future in which victory is already at hand. And that is what we're doing here. Again, you know, it's kind of like this very beautiful cosmic story, but within our hearts, we are being guided through a reality that is leading us towards the idea that our actions are having a global impact on an energetic level. On an energetic level, by us meditating in the morning as a team, it is energetically affecting the grid. By you working on yourself, changing your diet, changing your paradigm, changing your habits, working on being able to express your creativity, that is changing things on a holographic level. So that is our goal. That is our goal, to be able to, again, continue to step into our power as individuals, but also to be able to find others as we continue to come together as a team. And again, that's kind of like the visualization of the circle here. The flames themselves are often seen as like our inner light, kind of like our beacon, literally our own pillar of light, the Jedi. The word Jedi literally means pillars of light. We are the ancient Jedi in modern day times. We are the light guardians. We are the shifters. We are here to shine our lights and to be able to bring our lights to be able together to create like an even bigger light. Like when I see this card, I can't help but not think of almost like Power Rangers when all the Zords come together to form the Megazord. So that's what we're doing. We're forming like the mega light guardian Zord or something like that. So that's basically what it is that we are doing. I love the quote here where it says, "Whoever conquers another has strength. Whoever conquers himself has power. The victory that comes is not due to the oppression of someone else, but due to control over the base natures. Man stands on the sunny side of life relative to outer success. Inner life also takes on a new dimension of awareness. With the increase of life quality, the qualities of the heart also increase, as well as the capacity to find and recognize inner happiness." So as we continue to work on ourselves and be in this place of shared victory and success and celebration with others, we're also naturally kind of creating the channels for us to be able to tap into happiness like more regularly. If you guys have seen like my like laughing meditation videos, like that's like literally one of the most powerful ways to be able to tap into that inner light and to be able to ripple it out further, and to be able to understand that we're creating channels for happiness so it can become more accessible on a day-to-day life. So again, just wrapping up this card here, keywords again: initiative, goal-oriented. What are we working towards? Let's work towards, again, finding the others, building the team, creating that welcoming space, supporting each other, showing up with these practices, showing up on a regular routine, holding each other accountable. It's such a powerful time right now. Like this is it. Like this year, like I guarantee you 100%, 5 years from now, things will be different. But we will look back on this year and we will say, this was the year. This was the year when the paradigms really shifted. This was the year when we really came together. This was the year that set things in motion in a whole other way, you know? So like this is it. This is what is important. This is us coming together, and this is us rising into our strength, stepping into our leadership, stepping into our responsibility, stepping into our peacefulness, embodying our peacefulness, rising into our collective awareness, and being able to help move into a new quality of life for all beings. So beautiful, awesome, super amazing card for us to be able to receive here. Traditional meanings: honor, victory, success, reward. So this is it. The rewards are already in these moments. The rewards are in the little transformations that go through us every single day. So beautiful. If this resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the comment down below. Leave an affirmation in the chat about how this resonates with you. Drop an affirmation to let your body know that you heard this message. Like, embody it by creating an affirmation. And again, this card is all about us activating our personal power and then coming together as a team and then creating an even bigger beacon so we can continue to affect things on a global scale, continue to move into success. If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So that's what we're doing, team. We are going far and we are going together. This is such a powerful card. It definitely resonates with me, and it is a card that is very reflective of what it is that we are doing literally right now in this broadcast and within this community and with the leading members and with all the other aspects to this community. So thank you again so much, everyone, for being a part of it. So let me know again how this resonates with you. You guys can add some additional thoughts. Beautiful. Yeah, Megan, please feel free to read a quote if you have an additional quote. Morphic Kingdom Hearts throwback. Yeah. All right. Jen saying, "Amen. We are the prime time Earth show right now, right?" This little line of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Absolutely, you guys like heard that. So, beautiful. Da, 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 da. Awesome. How did we get talking about Kingdom Hearts here? Anyways, da, 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 da. Beautiful. Autumn saying the feeling the life path number is a 33, meant to be a spiritual leader. Beautiful, powerful, powerful. All right, go ahead, leave those affirmations if you haven't yet. Heather says, "I'm glad I did my housework before this." Heather, yeah, welcome back, Heather. Thank you for joining in. Heather's one of our new Patreon supporters as well. Kristen, "I affirm the power within to make drastic change in the hearts and minds of the world." Beautiful. Blue Diamond, "I am ready to listen to others, to better myself, to help others, to bring success to myself and to others." Beautiful. Well said, Blue Diamond. Cosmic Moon, that was a powerful following the paradigm shift card, right? Like that again, it's kind of like, oh, the paradigms are shifting. Okay, let's gather as a team. Haley, "I connect with the cosmic warriors that are my family, and as we encompass all of source itself, we shift the world with love." Beautiful. Megan, though one defeats a million men in battle, one who overcomes the self alone is the highest victor. Ooh, I like that. Very well said, Megan. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Let me just check if there's any comments on the TikTok as well. Again, for those of you on TikTok, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube if you haven't already yet. Da, 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 da. Just reading some of the comments. I think that was from earlier. "Keep your thoughts on higher frequencies. We are in frequency war. Your thoughts matter." Absolutely. Funny girl Geneva, "What is happening on Gaia affects multiple universes. Your thoughts manifest reality." Absolutely. Super powerful. Again, yo, Intentional Chaos, Funny Girl, thank you again for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And I'll read a few more affirmations as we get through this, and then we'll get right into our next reading. And again, we're working towards the next Patreon sign up. It's 10:47 right now, so let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up for 11 p.m. I would say, and I'll do my best to be able to stay on here as long as we can. So again, for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining in. Again, these broadcasts we do on the regular, at least Monday and Tuesday. And again, part of the objective here is to do those tarot readings and also to be able to work towards our goals on Patreon. So you can currently see in the info on the screen, we're currently at 179, working towards 182. I'm down to be able to reach that goal tonight. Like, I think it's totally possible that we can reach that goal tonight. So again, when you join on Patreon, that's a monthly micro contribution. So again, if you guys enjoy my work, if my work makes you laugh, if it provides value, then please feel free, if you're in a position to support financially, to consider joining on the Patreon when it works for you. Again, contributions only processed on the first of each month. And what's super awesome is that when you join on Patreon, you also get the ability to join as a leading member, which gives you access to the private community space, access to our on-air team podcast, access to our collaborative work periods, discounts for the item shops for Light Guardian crystals. And again, you also get to be able to work with me as a conscious media creation coach, which is very valuable in by itself. So beautiful. Jen, thank you again for adding your support and for helping facilitate that card. That was a beautiful card. Cosmic Moon, let me know if you're still in the chat and if you are ready to be able to help facilitate this next reading, and we'll get into that one. And then we'll, again, keep an eye on the Patreon. And if you're thinking about signing up for the Patreon tonight, drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you're thinking about signing up for the Patreon. And again, the link for that is through my profile on TikTok and Instagram, and is also in the info on YouTube as well. And for those of you on YouTube, you can like click in the top corner if you're on desktop right now. So thanks again, everyone. If you're new here, drop a 333 in the chat as well. And let's get right into our next reading. Beautiful. If you guys want, like, I mean, if we reach, like, I'll even say if we reach 181 tonight, if you guys want, we could still do some, like, tipsy tarot. That's like a thing we were talking about, where I'll just like crack open a cider and we'll do some like tipsy tarot, which will just add a little bit more, a little bit even more kind of like goofiness to it and stuff like that. I'll just be sipping on it and stuff like that. So if we reach 181 tonight, within the next little bit, then I'll do a little bit of reward for you guys, and we'll open up I'll open up a cider and we'll do a little bit of quote unquote tipsy tarot. Like, won't be like drunk, but again, it'll just kind of like allow us to get like a little bit more silly, but also a bit of a celebration as well. All right. Beautiful. Cosmic Cosmic Moon, Jamie, let me know, which deck would you like? Tarot or Oracle? Which deck would you like to work with? Let us know in the chat. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. I'm just going to take a moment here, just kind of rest my voice before we jump into the next reading. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do Oracle. Awesome. Good choice. All right. Okay, let's get right into this next reading. And again, let's keep an eye on working towards that next Patreon goal. I would say if we can reach it before 11, like that would be dope. That would be dope. So awesome. Felicia, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Sending you good vibes. And for everybody here, like if you're tuned into this broadcast, you just like automatically get sent good vibes. Again, like this isn't just tarot. This is us just kind of like holding vibrational space as a team to be able to help just like continue to be here for one another. So all right, okay, Jamie, Cosmic Moon, thank you for adding your support onto the Patreon. Let's get ready to move into this next tarot reading. So for everybody here, we're going to do this reading. Cosmic Moon is going to help facilitate it. So if you guys haven't yet, please feel free to say thank you to Cosmic Moon in the chat, and also to Jen as well for adding their support onto the Patreon. And we'll keep an eye on the Patreon as we go. So again, I want to be able to set that goal. If we can reach the next Patreon sign up by like 11, that will be a bonus. But otherwise, I would say for everybody here, set the intention for the next Patreon sign up by 11:15, so to speak. We'll set that. So again, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Go ahead and let us know. And again, that's a monthly micro contribution to join and to be able to support the work that we're doing, and also to be able to be involved as a leading member as well. So beautiful. All right, okay. Thank you again, Jen. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for adding your support. So okay, Jamie, you ready? Let's do this. For everybody here, just take a moment just to be able to connect with your heart space. And just close your eyes and breathe. Just straighten your spine, relax your face. Just breathe here for a moment. And as you breathe here, just inviting yourself to be able to bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Gratitude for the messages we are about to receive. Gratitude for the team. Gratitude for this sacred digital space. Cosmic Moon, for everybody here, focus on that. Focus your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. Us as in individuals, us as in the collective. Focus on that intention. Speak it with your heart. Speak it with your mind. Speak it with your words. Speak it with your soul. Cosmic Moon, when you are ready, take a couple breaths, listen to your intuition, and type now into the chat, and we will split the deck. For everybody else, go ahead and leave your wizard comments down in the chat. So go ahead, make your wizard noises, make your like woo 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 noises as well. So for everybody here, and so here we are, continuing to unfold through this ever magical dream, where things are not always as they seem, for there is indeed a mystery under every leaf. There is a world in which you can find that is hidden beneath your feet, in the roots that connect to the trees, that expand into the branches, into the skies, into this very breeze. For you are the breath that moves between you and me, for we are that of the eyes of reality. And as Cosmic Moon types now into the chat, we shall see what message the universe has. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be the exact same card we just pulled? We know that happens sometimes here in the broadcast, so... All right, okay. So the card that we have pulled for, again, on help having the card that we have pulled being partly facilitated by Cosmic Moon, but again being for the entire team, is card number 24, Initiation by Air. And some of you will recognize this card. This card has come up before, which I guess is just like the universe is just like, well, this is a card that needs to be heard right now, and I definitely agree. I think this is a very relative card, so I have no problem going back and reviewing it again. Pearl, I saw your comment. Did I remove the YouTube super chat? Yes, I did remove the YouTube super chat. If people are looking to support, again, the Patreon would be the preferred method to be able to support. Supporting to the super chat doesn't really work because you have to have like over $100 of contribution before you can even get anything. Thanks, you guys like my flowetry, and you guys call me Tarot Dad still. So, all right, okay. Let me explain a little bit more here. Again, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. So again, for anybody here, if you're in the process, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight, drop a 555 into the chat and let me know. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by 11:15. And let's focus on this reading here for now. So, initiation by air. Check this awesome image out. So what do we got? We got this like male figure standing on the edge of kind of like a cliff, kind of like overlooking, not even a cliff, more so just kind of overlooking a valley, and has this beautiful symbolism of these like doves or birds of light kind of emerging from their chest. And they're standing there, and they themselves kind of have these like beautiful angel wings, and you got this beautiful kind of dusk or dawn sun colors in the sky. They have this beautiful kind of like serene look within their face, very relaxed, very present, and they got a sweet little, I don't know what you would call that, dress robe type thing. I want one of those. So very, very powerful card. And again, just feeling that energy of that white light kind of coming from the chest. So beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Let's dive a little bit deeper. All right, so for everybody here, if you're here, this message is for you, and believe me, this is a relative message, and it does link up with the other cards that we've had so far. So let's dive into this, and again, let's work on reaching that next Patreon sign up. So again, for anybody here, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, links in the info below. Drop a 555 in the chat to let us know, and yeah, working towards the next Patreon sign up of 180 by 11:15. So let's work towards that. And for everybody here, focus here. If you are here, this message is for you. Awesome. Number 24, initiation by air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength, and as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you practice emptying it on a regular basis. The radiant mind can be a mighty warrior against fear and despair, encouraging you with thoughts of optimism. When not given a chance to empty, however, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information. Much of it will be fear-based programming perpetuated by mass media, which is invested in controlling others by manipulating them with fear. This initiation, which liberates and opens the mind, empowers advanced souls to free themselves from manipulation and control. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is expected to dominate the inclinations of the heart rather than serve it. The mind can be trained to be a great manager, creator, and defender of what has genuine value to the heart. But the power to feel what has meaning for us, what moves us through to rise above our fears and risk growth, comes from the heart, not the mind. When the mind is given the task to feel and the heart is told not to feel, paralysis, confusion, and discomfort are experienced. As you enter into this initiation, from what you have been taught, you will feel the need to step back from what you have been taught and learn to question what you once held to be true. As you disengage from habitual mental patterns, you will begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. If this resonates for you, drop an 1111 in the chat, whatever platform you're on. And yeah, we'll keep diving through this. I read that part. I'll read again. As you disengage with habitual mental patterns, you will begin to observe your thoughts rather than be swept up in them. Soon, you will begin to experience yourself as the peaceful, steady light of love that you are in truth. Will the mind go through its motions? Yes. However, there is no need to be afraid of this. One step at a time, your spirit shall guide your mind back towards peace. You will change the way you relate to your own mind, becoming more empowered. As you soften the strident action of the mind, you will see that you can use your mental gifts wisely, rather than allowing them to cause you pain. Those who have strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of communication, invention, and creativity, but they often also suffer from destructive self-talk and mental obsessions. They may even be addicted to thinking, which can wear them out and create cravings for sugar and lead to depression and illness. Instead, it is much better to regularly take time out for the mind and be in the moment, feeling energized and playful and at peace. Your mind is a powerful creature. Tame it with persistence, compassion, kindness, and strength. Give yourself rest and an opportunity to switch off and empty your mind as regularly as you can. There is no need to judge or despair. This is an advanced initiation and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of your spiritual progress. The world will benefit from you as you learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of great peace and happiness in your imminent future. Beautiful, beautiful card. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into this card. And again, as we're doing this, let's keep an eye on that next Patreon sign up. So again, if we can get that next Patreon sign up as I'm doing this reading, we'll jump right into the next reading for the team. So if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Go ahead, join there, get involved with our private community space, get involved as a leading member. Initiation by air. So again, when we're talking about air is often, again, the association of the mind, the thoughts. And so with this card is really encouraging us to be able to develop a deeper relationship with our mind, where we understand and observe what current state it may be in. And so check in with yourself. Again, like, do you find do you find that, again, like, your mind may be a little bit overwhelmed, it may be a bit exhausted, it may be something where, again, you're just kind of like thinking about so many things, but you're having trouble focusing on where you need to. You might even be having trouble focusing on yourself. This experience of this initiation is something that is going to be unique for every single person, but it is encouraging and reminding us to be able to practice the benefits of meditation and mindfulness to develop a new relationship with our mind, where we can begin to transform it through intention, through conscious will. But it comes as a result of developing practice. It comes as a result of being able to create new habits for ourselves. So if you feel like your mind is kind of like busy and busy and busy and busy, instead of just kind of like overloading it with more stimulation and more TikTok and more of this and more news and more drama and things like that, this is a reminder to be able to take the time to be able to give your mind space to relax. Give your mind space to be able to sit in peace and stillness. Your mind is literally a muscle. It is literally something that gets tired as it gets used. So this is something where you can observe this. The decisions that you make, if you're trying to make big decisions, it's easier to make them first thing in the day because you still have a lot of energy. As you move through your day, you will literally experience energy fatigue of the mind, meaning your willpower will decrease, meaning your ability to be able to make decisions will be a little bit decreased. And for those of us who are kind of in this state where we're not really taking time to rest the mind, it's easy for this state to be the common state, to be kind of the default state. And so with this card, it's really inviting us into an important place of responsibility that reminds us that we are the only ones who can tend to our mind. And so by practicing things like meditation, which again, joining our team meditations, 10 a.m. EST, it creates the routine, it creates the ritual, it creates the awareness, and we begin to move into this place where we change the relationship with our thoughts. It's no longer this idea that every single thought that goes through our head is us, but rather we are the observer of those thoughts. We have the ability to observe as they come and they go. If you're constantly grabbing at every single thought that pops through your mind, that's exhausting. Like, that's gonna tire you out. And no shame at all if that's something you've experienced, because again, it takes a little bit of time to be able to learn to become aware of that, to be able to shift our paradigm, to be able to change our relationship, and to be able to develop the patterns and the experience that is going to help us recalibrate the way how our mind operates in the first place. So as you soften as you soften the stride and action of the mind, you will see that you can use your mental gifts wisely rather than allowing them to cause you pain. So with this card, it is reminding yourself that your mind is that which you manifest magic with, is literally like that which shapes this reality. Whatever the mind is, it's a little bit of a mystery, but it literally changes the world around you. And so when left untamed, the mind will just start creating whatever it wants. It's kind of like always on this like perpetual motion, but we, without ever fully stopping it, can learn to slow it down. We can learn to tame it. We can learn to sit with it. We can learn to nurture it. We can learn to meet it with compassion. When it's not doing this, it will just be thinking about this, thinking about this, thinking about this. And then again, in doing that, it's like even unintentionally bringing more of that which you're focusing on into reality. It's like creating, again, kind of this like feedback loop where you need to be able to almost remove yourself from that cycle, from that perpetual motion, and to be able to approach things from a new slate, from a blank slate, tabula rasa. Clear the slate of your mind and really invite yourself to be able to reflect. When your mind is more relaxed, what do you feel? What do you see? What do you focus on? What do you feel called to create? What do you feel called to be able to help bring into this world? What do you wish to be able to change within your own life? So the mind is something that is an incredibly powerful tool to be able to help get wisdom within our, wisdom that is deeply connected to our own heart. The intuition of the heart will often arrive through the thoughts within our mind. But if our mind is constantly kind of on like this super, again, like really just like overstimulated level, then we need to be able to practice relaxing the mind. And how do we do that? Again, spending time in nature is great. Focusing on the physical body, things that I mentioned on the regular. Again, opposed to just being, okay, I'm just going to meditate. That's great, but it's really the holistic approach that's going to make the long-lasting goal. So again, focus on your diet, your exercise, your sleep, sunlight, water, meaningful social interactions. Those things, those are all the things that are going to help nurture your body and help you create more of an equilibrium within your day-to-day life that's going to support you in being able to maintain this ability where you change the relationship with your mind. Instead of it becoming kind of like this child that's kind of like tugging at you, or kind of almost like this monkey that's running around your shoulders, again, it becomes an ally. It becomes a tool. It becomes a valuable sword that you can use to be able to create with in a lot of ways, opposed to just being something that can be like a weapon, so to speak. That's where it says the mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. So if you feel like your mind is oftentimes kind of like moving into this place of just like hypervigilance and everything like that, you can also see that again as an invitation to be able to understand where you are at and then gently be able to move to where you need to be. So it's up to you. This card really requires a lot of will, but it's also giving you a sense of optimism in knowing that your ability to be able to transform your mind is within your sovereign ability to do so. It is within your reach. It is within your grasp. It is within your birthright to be able to do so. So by being able to create peace within your heart, within yourself, you create peace within your mind, and then that continues to ripple out to peace worldwide. And again, it's also about being able to help create a clearer space for the signals to be able to come through, which will allow us to continue to show up from a place of like service and a place of purpose. So again, it's kind of like this process. As we continue to work on ourselves, we allow ourselves to continue to show up for others. So there is no need to judge or despair. This is an advanced initiation and one that is brought to you only when you are ready. Consider it a sign of spiritual progress. Your world will benefit you when you learn to handle your mental energies more constructively. This oracle is indeed an omen of greater peace and happiness in your imminent future. So for everybody here, would you like to be able to manage your mental energies more constructively? Like for all of us, be like, sure, why not? Like, absolutely, right? So it is a learning process though. And that is what we have to understand. It's not literally something that just happens overnight, but it is a practice that we can do each and every single day. And as we do the practices, we change the relationship, we shift the paradigm, we allow ourselves to deepen into a bigger understanding of how to be able to relate to the world around us. So again, with this card, it's even inviting us to be able to really pay attention to our diet, our media diet, the things that we ingest. So like if you're spending your time like ingesting fear-based news, then that's what's populating your mind. You literally become that. So if you feel like your mind is like a little bit overwhelmed, pay attention to what you're feeding it, because that's what it will recycle. If you're watching just kind of junk on TV, then that's what it will recycle. And that's where, again, sometimes that can lead just kind of like this perpetual thoughts. But if you feed it things that are naturally calm, if you feed it nature, if you feed it hanging out with good vibes of a community that are, again, kind of in a like vibe tribe, then that is what will begin to propagate it. It will begin to propagate, again, this reward system of being able to understand that each and every single time that you meditate, you literally gain experience points to be able to help move out of those cycles and to create new patterns. You can do this. You can do this. Like, you are not just simply, again, like stuck with the mind you have. You have the ability to begin to transform it over time. And it does take place in a process that involves a bit of patience, but it is a step-by-step story. Don't worry about taking 50 steps ahead when you're only going to take one step at a time. And maybe that one step is, again, taking some time out in nature, going for a walk, listening to some music. Practice disconnecting to practice reconnecting. Like, unplug, like tune out and tune in, you know, like tune out from like the mainstream media and all the noise, tune into your own peace, tune into your own heart space. So understand, this card is about really being able to bring more awareness to, again, what we're feeding our mind, how that's affecting our mind, how we can change that relationship, that diet, how we can cultivate new practices of mindfulness, how we can change the balance within our entire body holistically through diet and sleep and exercise, sunlight, meaningful social interaction, and all that as well. And then again, to be able to create the space where, as our mind becomes more coherent, we can allow ourselves to begin to bring forth more clarity for the messages that we are here to be conduits for, to be, again, kind of the hierophant, the bridge between world, and to be able to practice bringing, again, that creative energy into the work that we do, into our art, into the messages, into our day-to-day life, into the conversations that we have. So I'm going to read the invocation here. Again, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. And again, I love the fact that, like, yeah, Morphic, I know we've gotten this card a few times, right? But obviously it needs to be said, because what we need to do right now, each and every single one of us, we got a lot of things going on within our mind right now. But this is a reminder to say that meditation and mindfulness practice and taking time to disconnect, to kind of like give our mind a rest, is so incredibly needed right now, so incredibly important. So for everybody here, drop those 1111s if you resonate with this, and drop an affirmation down below. Even, again, just maybe about like you making a little bit of a promise related to some of your practices, related to your meditation and mindfulness practice. Invocation, as I'm reading this, feel free to kind of like imagine and you're saying it to yourself. I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind, renewed in eternal love. May I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love in me and in the world. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, protection, and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to the minds of all. Through my own free will, so be it. Beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Just have to reset the Instagram feed here real quick. It crashed like halfway through that reading. I didn't even notice. So, boop-a-doop-a-doo. All right, so go ahead, leave your affirmations down in the chat, and we'll read some of those on screen. And again, thank you everyone so much just for adding your energy. Drop those 1111s in the chat if you haven't already yet about how this card resonates with you. But again, I think this is a very, very powerful card that we're obviously receiving time and time again, because it's in reminding us that, like, right now, like, our mind is the most powerful tool. Like, our mind is one of the most powerful tools that we have. And if we don't learn to be able to, again, be able to like create a better relationship with our mind, then our mind will just kind of like, it will control, like it will automatically take control. When you're not consciously taking control, the mind will just like instinctively, it's kind of like the autopilot. It will just kind of jump in if no one else is like actively piloting the ship. So if you don't want to necessarily just be run on pure autopilot, then you have to take control of your ship. And you do that, again, by being able to practice developing a new relationship with your mind through mindfulness practices. But again, just being able to bring more holistic balance into your life. And again, even just by spending time in nature, learning from nature as well. So, and we need you to do this. We need you to develop those important relationships with your mind so that you can continue to show up and serve in some really, really exciting, powerful ways. Beautiful. All right. I'll read those comments in the chat of those affirmations. Go ahead and leave those affirmations to be able to let your body know that you heard the message that came through. So, Cosmic Moon says, I release negative thought patterns and make space for peace and love to grow. I choose to release all that no longer serves me. Beautiful, Cosmic Moon. Kristen, I affirm my practice of gratitude and self-love to continue moving forward with grace and kindness, both inward and outward. Beautiful. Well said, Kristen. Awesome. Anybody else, please feel free to leave an affirmation related to the card that we just pulled. For those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, again, we just did a reading for the card that we pulled was the Initiation by Air card. Super, super powerful card. Really, really cool one. So, awesome. Jen says, I am ready and not standing in our way with resisting thoughts. Beautiful. Well said. Awesome. I am present. Well said, Dandelion. That's a simple but powerful affirmation as well. So, awesome. So again, for those of you who missed it, that was the Initiation by Air card. Super, super powerful. All about, again, being able to develop a healthy relationship with the mind and using the mind as a tool for creative power and creative transformation and serving others as well. Beautiful. All right, team, we're going to take a little bit of a break and we'll do another reading in the next few minutes. I want to be able to see if we have someone ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon. I'm going to just turn on my kettle and take a little bit of an opportunity here to rest my voice. Again, we are currently at 179 on Patreon. Even if we get one, even just one more Patreon sign up, if you guys want, I can do like the open up a cider and we can do a little bit of tipsy tarot if you guys want. If like you guys are running the show here, which again will just kind of like be even like a little bit more lighthearted and silly, but it will still be professional as well. So I've done it like a couple times in the past, way back in the day. So Jen says, I am ready and not standing in our way with resisting thoughts. Awesome. Right. That was one that we said. Morphic, right? Yeah, we've gotten this card a few times. So tune in next time as we pull the exact same card because apparently that card's needed right now, right? Like there's always new people tuning into the broadcast. So for those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, please feel free to click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. We're just doing some more team tarot readings. If you are ready to sign up on the Patreon, go ahead, click the link in my profile. And again, signing up on Patreon is a super awesome way to be able to help support the work that I do for the community and the community as a whole. You can see we're currently at 179, working towards our next primary goal of 182. When you sign up on Patreon, you get a lot of really cool things in return, including access to my private videos. Again, my private videos on for Patreon supporters include a 3-hour version of my 5-gram mushroom experience. So for those of you who hadn't checked that out yet, you can find that as well. But again, most importantly, it gives you access to be able to join as a leading member within our private community space, to be able to work alongside in our collaborative work environment for conscious creators and leaders, to be able to join our collaborative work periods, to be able to work with me as a conscious media creation coach, to be able to get discounts for the shop, and to be able to join our weekly team podcasts on air. And again, this Thursday's podcast is on spiritual lessons of relationships and love. So that's going to be a really, really cool one. So again, thank you to those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram. If it's your first time here, go ahead and drop a 333 in the comments. And again, for anybody here, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight, go ahead and drop a 555 in the comments down below. And again, if it's your first time here, you're welcome to just kind of like chill out and stick around for a little bit. And if anybody else has any affirmations from the card that we just pulled, please feel free to even lead any additional affirmations in the chat. And thank you again, Cosmic Moon, for helping facilitate that. All right, I'm just gonna get some water. So again, for everybody here, just chill out for a little bit. Let's keep an eye on that next Patreon. Once we get that next Patreon sign up in place, we will move right into our next reading. And yeah, once we get the next Patreon, I'll crack open a little bit of the cider, and we can do a little bit of cider celebratory tarot. So awesome. All right, thank you again, everyone. Stand by. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break here to be able to get some tea ready. And again, we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon. So again, if you're signing up for the Patreon, it only takes 5 minutes. Links in the YouTube chat. Link is in the YouTube info. It's also through my profile. And again, if you have any questions about the Patreon, you can also let me know as well. So stand by, just getting some tea ready in the meantime. I have 1 second. All right. Aloha. Welcome back, everybody. Beautiful. All right. Thanks, everyone, so much for joining in. Yo, Deffigan, thank you so much for joining. All right, so for those of you joining on TikTok and Instagram, we're just chilling out here for a little bit. I want to be able to see if we can get one more person signed up for the Patreon, and then once we do that, we'll I'll open up. I got my cider here, ready to be able to open up. Again, like I don't know, like cider's like the only thing like I'll like drink every now and then. And again, so that would just be to bring you even more amusement, to be able to do a little bit of what are we calling it? Tipsy tarot? Is that what we're calling it? So again, but it's still like being able to like honor the intention of just being able to bring even more inspiration for you guys. But it's just like a little bit of celebratory thing to make it a little bit silly that way, so I can entertain you. So awesome. All right, Morphic, thanks again for adding your support. So again, for those of you who are here, I'm ready to be able to get into the next reading. I just have to be a little bit mindful of my voice as well. And yeah, this is a Strongbow. That's what I have. This is Strongbow cider. So, all right, team. So again, once we have that next Patreon sign up in place, we will do our next reading for the team. So again, thank you everyone. If you're new here, if this is your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. And again, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna work on getting that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can. We'll even jump into the next reading sooner rather than later, and then just set the intention to be able to get that next Patreon sign up. I would say like before quarter to 12. So right now it's 11:24 right now, so 11:45. So Morphic, what do you are you calling me a boob? What was that about? So all right, okay, so thank you again, team. If you're tuned in for the first time, drop a 333 in the chat. We'll keep going here. Like, I want to be able to see if we can reach the target goal of 182 tonight. I'd love to be able to reach that target goal tonight. That'd be super, super dope. So again, if you guys are new, thank you so much for joining. If you guys have been here for a while, you guys are, again, welcome to be able to sign up for the Patreon. Even if anybody here, if you guys want to update your Patreon pledge, whatever works for you. Yeah, Deffigan, remind me, Deffigan, did you facilitate a reading last night, or did we end, like, I think we ended it. Yeah. So Deffigan, if you want, you can help facilitate the next reading. Because you were signed up, like, Deffigan is David who signed up yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly. So Deffigan, if you want, like, you can help facilitate this next reading if you want. So just let me know, like, write in the comment, be like, yes, I would like to facilitate the next reading. So, but yeah, we had another good reading yesterday as well. That was kind of like a bonus reading that we did there, but yeah, nonetheless. So yeah, okay, so Deffigan, let me know if you're wanting to facilitate the next reading, and let me know, like, confirming, Deffigan, that you are David in the chat, in the Patreon, if I believe so. Yes, awesome, sweet. All right, cool, dude. And again, for anybody here who's recently signed up at the $11 level, make sure you guys jump into the team chat and make sure you let me know that you would like to be involved as a leading member, and then I can add you as a leading member into the team chat. Speaking of which, I'm just going to open up the team chat, see what's going on in there. So beautiful. All right, Deffigan. All right, we'll do that. We'll get into the next reading then, and then again, we'll keep an eye open for our next Patreon sign up to be able to help reach our goal. So beautiful. All right, just keeping an eye on our awesome team chat. Awesome. Reminder, if you guys haven't yet, you're welcome to join the team chat. You can join, like, the public chat, and then again, when you join on Patreon as a leading member, you can get access to the full chat as well, which includes all of, like, the private space for the conscious media creators. So all right, team. So we're gonna get into a next reading because we owe it to Deffigan, and we'll keep an eye on getting that next Patreon sign up. Deffigan, the link for the Patreon, or sorry, the link for the team chat is, like, in the YouTube info as well. Like, it literally says connect to the team chat. Click that, and then it will join you to the server, and you just click accept and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty basic. So, and then just let me know in the public chat, like, just be like, hey, this is Deffigan, and let me know in the chat, and then I can add you as a leading member if you would like to be involved as a leading member. So sweet. All right, thanks again, everyone, for joining in. Just taking a moment here to be able to get things all set up, and we will get right into our next reading in the next moments. All right, awesome. Whoops, I have, like, my own audio coming through on the background. I didn't even notice that. That's probably there for a while. All right, okay, team. All right, I'm ready to crack open that cider, but we're waiting for one more Patreon sign up. I'm not gonna chug it or anything like that. So all right, posting a link for the Patreon in the chat. Again, if you guys are tuned in on TikTok or Instagram, please feel free to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's where the majority of the chat is. And we are about to get into our next reading. Def, again, one of our newest Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for adding your support, dude. Go ahead, let me know, which deck would you prefer, the Tarot or the Oracle? Ananda Tarot or Lightworker Oracle? So Def, again, let me know which one you would prefer in the chats. And you get to choose, and we'll set things up and you can help facilitate. If you guys are tuned in for the first time, we're about to get into another one of our readings. Again, we do these broadcasts every now and then to be able to not only provide awesome inspirational readings for the community, but again, also to be able to invite people to join on Patreon and to be able to get involved as leading members within our community, which is a super, super awesome way to not only support the work that I do, but to also be supported in return as well. So again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok, thank you so much for joining in. We're about to get into our next reading, and please feel free to click the link in my profile to jump in over to YouTube. And we'll keep an eye open on that next sign up. Okay, we're using the Lightworker Oracle deck. Sounds good. All right. If you guys are ready, if there's anybody here who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and click the link in the YouTube chat. Go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat. This may be our last reading for tonight. Like if this is just kind of, if we're kind of waiting for a little bit for new Patreon supporters, this may be the last reading for tonight. But either way, we'll just focus on this one, and we'll work on reaching that next goal for the Patreon of 180. So again, once we get to 180, I'll like open up the cider as a little bit of celebratory just to be able to add a little bit additional excitement to the mix. And again, when you guys sign up on the Patreon, you can help facilitate the next reading as well. Yo, Cherry, I think I saw you in the chat as well. Awesome. Cassidy dropping in a 555 in the chat. Beautiful. Cassidy, feel free to go ahead and get yourself signed up for the Patreon while you're listening. And again, for those of you who are new, I'll explain it real quick. And definitely, just let me know that you're ready. And we're going to jump right into this. The Patreon is a monthly micro contribution. So you can think of it as like a membership. When you sign up on the Patreon at the $11 level or higher, you can join as what we refer to as leading members. Leading members within our community are people who have access to our private community space. Within that space, we focus on media, conscious media creation. Like that's a big thing. Like I'm an expert in conscious media creation. I went to school for film production. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. Obviously my content has been seen by a lot of people. And not only do I like making content, but I like supporting other creators and helping them in the creation of their content, because that is what is needed right now. We need to support each other as conscious media creators so that we can tell this bigger story. So when you join as a leading member, it is an awesome way for you to be able to support yourself as well by being in this very powerful space of community, to be involved with our collaborative work periods, to be able to join on air for our team podcast, and to be able to have access to me as a conscious media creation coach. So we do it as a sliding scale. So the $11 is like the low end of the sliding scale, but it in itself, like it can be worth, like relative to you with all the things we put out, like there are people who would sign up for this and they'd be like, yo, like a month of like being a part of this community was worth like $200 easily, just with the podcast we do, with the meditations we do, and again with the additional meetings and support that I can help you guys with in the background of things as well. So if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, please feel free to go ahead and do that. And again, when you sign up, you can also get a discount for items at the shop, such as the beautiful Light Guardian crystals. This is an example of one. So you can get 25% discounts at the shop. So when you sign up at the shop and then order, you like literally make your money back like through a single order anyways. So it's a pretty good deal. So Cassidy, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and let's get right into this next reading. So Def, again, confirm for me that you're ready in the chat, and we're going to get right into this reading. Def, again, is one of our Patreon supporters. Quick shout out. If you are signed up on Patreon already, drop an 1111 in the chat. So shout out again to everybody. All right, okay. Def, again, let's do this. So for everybody here, let's just drop into our heart space first, and then we will walk you through this, Def, again. And again, I'm going to walk you through the instructions, and I think you're already familiar with it, and then I'll kind of guide you through it, and then you're going to type now into the chat as we kind of work our way through this. Go hair, go. All right, okay. Thanks again, everyone, for joining in. Let's get ready to move into this next reading. So thank you again, Deffigan, and we'll keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up as we go. I'm setting the goal for the next Patreon sign up for 11:45, so that's like not too far away. But again, once we do that, we'll I'll crack open the cider. I know some of you are like, they're like, do it, crack open that cider, get silly, Brendan. I'll get silly. So, all right, okay. Focus on this reading. Here we go. For everybody here, allow yourself to just drop into this heart space. Put your hand on your chest if you wish. Just allow yourself to breathe here. And as you breathe here, just bringing yourself into this space of gratitude, this space of excitement, this space of joy. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. And for everybody here, focusing your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see both for the collective and for the individuals. So for everybody here, focus on that intention. And I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And for Deffigan, take a few more breaths here, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now into the chat and we will split the deck. For everybody else, leave your comments in the chat of your wizard noises. So hold on, Deffigan. I think you're a little bit ahead of the game here. Take a moment here to breathe as we charge up the deck. Take another few breaths, Deffigan. We have to charge up the deck first. I'll wait for your second now. And so, as time continues to unfold through this dream, we will continue to see all the things that have always been hidden in plain sight as we continue to rise, as we shine our light within this night. As we continue to take flight and spread our wings, we will continue to unlock the magic between all things. And so let us breathe into this moment here in this space as we continue to unlock the messages with grace. So breathe here and breathe now as we continue to awaken the truth of this wow. And I'm just taking a moment here to wait for Deffigan to drop a second now in the chat as we have now charged up the deck and we will see what message the universe has. Deffigan, if you haven't yet, go ahead, drop that now in the chat and we will split the deck. So just breathing into this moment. For everybody else here, go ahead, drop your wizard noises in the chat. Now, there it is. All right, the card that we have pulled this time, is it gonna be the same card as last time? We'll see. Son of a bitch. Flips table. Where's Morphic? She'd be flipping tables right now. Why does this keep happening? So, all right, definitely, we're gonna do a quick redraw of that one. We literally just did that one. So let's do it one more time. Definitely, real quick. Drop in another now, real quick. We're just gonna charge this up. Just quick version. Set the intention. Boom. Gratitude. Focus. Show us what we need to see. It's funny when that happens. All right, so Deffigan, go ahead, drop a third now or fourth now, whatever one we're on. Flips table. Drop those wizard noises. That's crazy. I called it too. I was like, is it gonna be the same one? And then it was. Waiting for that extra now in the chat, and then we will split the deck and we will see what message the universe has. Choo, 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 choo. Synchronicity live on air. Poo, 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 poo. The magic is real. Choo, choo, choo. The cards have a will of their own. Choo, 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 choo. Yeah, definitely. If anything, go back and check the recording on that. Straight up, dude. Choo, 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 choo. But we literally just did that card, like literally right before it. All right, here comes the next now from Deffigan. Breathing into this moment. Fourth now, there it is. And there's a split. Kadoosh, 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 kadoosh. Beautiful. All right, okay. This is not the same card, so this is a good one. This one looks good. This is a new card to me, actually. Beautiful. All right, okay. The card that we have pulled with Def again helping facilitate, but for everybody here is card number 27. Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. Ooh, interesting. So just give me a moment here. Just got to open up the deck and we will dive a little bit deeper. So again, as we're doing this, still setting that goal of being able to get that next Patreon sign up. Originally I said 11:45. Even if it's by like 12 and everything like that, that's okay. So again, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 into the chat. And again, reminder for those of you on TikTok, if you guys are just in the chat, just do your best to be able to respect the space, or otherwise don't be surprised when I block your account. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And so let's dive into this card and see a little bit more about what it has. So again, definitely, thank you so much for adding your support. And yeah, let's keep an eye open for that next Patreon sign up. And as soon as, again, if like this may be the last reading for tonight. If we get another sign up after this, we'll keep doing additional readings. And I'd love to reach our 182 goal tonight. But otherwise, this may be our last reading for tonight. So let's get those new Patreon signups and let's get things rolling. All right, so for those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube if you haven't yet. Let's take a look at this image and I'm just going to explain it here literally. What do we have here? So Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. This is such a powerful image. So you can see this figure of this man who kind of looks Christ-ish, Christ-like, depending on your perception of Christ. And he has this very powerful light emanating from his chest. And before him, you can kind of see almost like these like pillars of crystal on this like island. It's very, very mystical, very mythical in its own way. And this light is kind of shining almost like the rays of the sun, almost as if like he is the sun rising, so to speak. And again, you got these beautiful colors in the background, and you can literally see like the rolling waters coming into the beach in the foreground. And again, just some very, very powerful symbolism. And again, that's just me literally explaining the visual image literally. And let's dive a little bit deeper into the book and see what else we got. So all right, okay, so for those of you who are here, again, a reminder, if you are here, this message is for you, and we'll keep an eye open for that Patreon sign up. And so once we are ready to do that, we will let people know in the chat. And again, for here, let's just focus on this reading. So again, thank you so much, Def again. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's see what message the universe has. So I'm going to read from the book, and then I'm going to riff on it a little bit further. Here we go. All right. 27. Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. You are elevating your vibration towards the frequency of limitless supply and unconditional love. Spiritually, you are reaching for a high level of attainment. Past pain and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. Christ consciousness is an expression of divine love that comes straight from the universal heart. It triggers a transmutation and evolution so absolute that we are irreversibly changed. We increasingly become an embodied expression of pure divine will and an unwavering expression of divine love for all who are in need. Again, as you're listening to this, you can even just close your eyes. Just allow my voice to just kind of speak to your heart. This process takes lifetimes to complete. As you proceed, you will receive countless blessings to support your journey and fulfill your sole purpose of serving love. There will also be tests. These give the spirit a chance to develop mastery. There will be tests of forgiveness. It is easier to forgive when you don't harbor resentment and natural limitations. Which is like being angry at the sun for not shining at night. That's an interesting saying. Get angry at the sun for not shining at night. It's like, damn you, sun. Natural laws prevail, so whether we are speaking of the sun, a child, or ourselves as we grow, compassion allows forgiveness to flow more easily. There will also be tests of power. As you grow, you will become more powerful. You can use that power to help or hinder others, to manipulate them through fear or encourage them with love. You can nurture yourself on your heart, you can nurture yourself on your path, or you can relentlessly criticize yourself for your errors. You can claim your power comes from your superiority you possess, or you can see yourself as a surrendered vehicle, animated in purposeful action through the grace of the divine. You may feel you need to sacrifice yourself for others, but you are just as much in need of love as any other being in this planet. When you are full and overflowing, what you share with others can enhance you and them. It is not a choice between what nurtures you and what nurtures others, as if though those were competing needs. In the realm of the Christ, what nurtures you is actually nurturing for all. Ooh, that's impressive. I like that. In the realm of Christ, what it nurtures you is actually nurturing for all. Again, if this resonates for you, go ahead, drop an 1111 in the chat. Again, obviously, like we'll talk a little bit about the concept of, again, Christ energy and everything like that. This isn't purely just, again, kind of like a religious connotation, but more so a cosmic Christ consciousness. When you are feeling diminished or drained, you have been pulled out to the higher frequencies of peace and kindness to yourself. Become trapped in unforgiveness or power games, or seduced by the lesser truths of another, rather than the truths of your own heart. Christ calls to you now to receive his love for you and to allow your own heart to feel the grace and healing of this. It can be a challenge to learn to love another in a way that does not harm you. Perhaps you learned that love was about making yourself less in order to help others feel more. This is not love. I'm going to read that again. Perhaps you have learned that love was about making yourself less in order to help others feel more. This is not love, nor is it consciously chosen sacrifice. It is a heart acting out of scars from the past. Ain't that the truth? Your heart deserves to experience real love. As you gently claim this for yourself, you will find much strength within, much respect for yourself, and a willingness to receive much good in your life. It is time for you to embrace the higher expression of the Christ love within you. You have as much right to experience love, respect, and forgiveness as another. Sharing love in any way brings you closer to your spiritual mission this lifetime. It also attracts prosperity and abundance. Let love in. You do not have to suffer to grow now. You just need to let love flow. Okay, all right. Powerful card. Yeah, feeling those 1111s in the chat for those of you who are tuned in, dropping those in the comments. All right. Again, for those of you on the chat, again, if you guys are in the chat, just please be respectful of the chat. And again, moving into what I just want to be able to practice channeling from here. So this is a very, very powerful card. This is a very, very powerful message to be able to receive. And so when we think of the symbolism of Christ, again, you know, a lot of people look to Christ more so as an archetype, more so as a symbol in itself. This idea of, again, kind of being in this like really deep place of love and this really deep place of service. So this card has a lot to do with learning to be able to love ourselves. And in loving ourselves, we allow ourselves to love others. In serving ourselves, we allow ourselves to serve others. This is about really being able to practice healing the heart, to being able to sit with the heart, to sit with your own heart as if it is your friend, as if it is your beloved, so to speak. And so this card really hits on the purpose of forgiveness and being able to see things from that higher perspective, where when you understand kind of the natural process of learning, you won't always necessarily get like it will allow you to forgive those who make mistakes along the way by acknowledging that you too make mistakes along the way, because that is exactly how you learn, that is exactly how you grow. So in being able to develop a kind and soft heart, it helps to be able to develop a bigger perception of the story around us. It allows us to be able to understand the intricate nature of how people are continuing to unfold through their own growth, and understanding that they will make mistakes, that they will do things that may, again, kind of like embarrass themselves or embarrass others, so to speak. But like the sun itself rising, like the trees falling, like the leaves falling from the trees in fall, like the seasons changing and everything like that, you do not simply like get mad at nature for doing its process, but again, you hold space to be able to support it. So this energy is a very powerful energy that invites us into this space of being able to hold a powerful level of compassion for our friends and for ourselves through those challenging circumstances. So next time your friend who may be just having a bad day says something to you and it kind of pisses you off, so to speak, use this as an opportunity for you to be able to kind of see things from this Christ-like perspective of being able to, again, instead of just being like, well, screw you, buddy, like you're a jerk, you're an a-hole, instead to be able to find this method of being able to meet them with a deeper compassion that will actually help accelerate their process of learning and growing by allowing themselves to be in that safe space, into that supportive space, into that divine space. So this is a card that, again, is kind of reflecting this journey that in itself is something that kind of takes place across our entire lifetime, of being able to really develop a new level of consciousness within our heart that not only changes how we see ourselves, but it changes how we see the world. And it allows us to be able to change the way we see our tests as well. So you can nurture yourself on your path, or you can relentlessly criticize yourself for your errors. You can claim your power comes from superiority you possess, or you can see yourself as a surrendered vehicle, animated in a purposeful action through the grace of the divine. This is again, the message here is really, really powerful, where it's like, as you kind of, I love this message, this idea that I talked about before, where part of what we're doing, we go through this life literally to be able to go through this practice of clearing the dust off the lens of our heart, so to speak. And so that is something that that's a process that is constantly unfolding. It is an upkeep. It is like washing a car every couple weeks by taking it to the cleaner and everything like that. And so in this process, again, when we allow ourselves to clear the dirt off the lens of our heart, we allow ourselves to also become like a better conduit for consciousness. We allow ourselves to become an instrument for the divine. We allow ourselves to become a messenger for love. And so our job as a conscious individual is to, again, to be able to become aware of kind of where we need to be able to send a little bit more love, literally within our own heart, but also to be able to practice sharing love with others, which in turn will help us love ourselves. So as we literally, again, practice sharing love, we are also in our own way being able to practice heal the aspects of like our own perceptions of our journey, and to be able to forgive ourselves, because it's easy to forgive other people sometimes, but sometimes it's like hardest to be able to forgive ourselves. So when you really, again, kind of like understand things from this higher perspective, again, you can use that power to help or hinder others, to manipulate them through fear or encourage. Sorry, let me just reread that. There will also be tests of power. As you grow, you will become more powerful. So you can use that power to help or hinder others, or to manipulate them through fear or encourage them to love. So this is, again, kind of like acknowledging the fact that as you continue to consciously move through your journey, you will rise into power. And with that holding of power also becomes this new responsibility, also becomes this opportunity for you to reflect on how do you want to use that power? How do you want to use that wisdom? And this card is really inviting us to be able to move kind of into that altruistic perspective, that perspective of service, that perspective of, again, just moving into, again, this place of just like really understanding that through the individual conversations, through the one-to-one interactions, through the compassion that we hold for our friends and for strangers, that in itself is incredibly important, is incredibly healing. When you change one person's world, you change their world. When you change their world, you change the world. I know some of you have heard me say that before. So again, Christ calls you now to receive his love for you, and allows your own heart to feel the grace and healing of this. So when we think of, again, kind of the Christ-like archetype, again, we have sort of this image of, again, seeing someone who is like super compassionate and wanting the best for people and still leading them in a very gentle way. And how can we do this? How can we do this for ourselves? How can we do this for our friends? How can we do this for our family? How can we do this for community? While holding ourselves up to this place of accountability and creating an opportunity for us to be able to see our growth from a new perspective, where again, it's not just like, oh, you did something wrong, shame, 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 but it's like, oh, you learned something. How do you choose to move forward from it? And it's the compassion that will allow you to be able to see that lesson in a new light. You know, it's kind of like, imagine it's like somebody's like sitting on like a bar stool or something like that. And imagine like if you're like shaking that bar stool and trying to talk to them at the same time, you're kind of like, here's what I'm trying to tell you. And you're shaking the bar stool. They're just like, whoa, and they're not really listening, sort of thing. But if you just kind of like sit gently with them and just talk to them, and you're not just trying to rip them apart, and you're not just kind of like, again, just trying to kick them out of town and stuff like that, but you're just like, hey, look, like, I understand that this is something, that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity not only for you to grow, but it's also an opportunity for me to be able to show up in a form of support through simply holding compassion for the experience that is unfolding, not only through you, but through the both of us right now as well. It is time for you to embrace your higher expression of Christ's love within you. You have as much right to experience love, respect, and forgiveness as others. So where can you forgive yourself? For everybody hearing this, sharing love in many ways brings you closer to your spiritual mission this lifetime. What are the many ways that you can share love? Again, you share love through the expression of your creative art. You share love through the one-to-one conversations. You share love with again, just like telling someone who's like working at a grocery store that you really appreciate their hard work. Make it your job to be able to plant these little seeds throughout the rest of your day, throughout your day-to-day life, throughout your week-to-week experience. And again, not only are you helping other people, but you're making this as a second habit, and you're allowing yourself to kind of clear the dust off the lens of your heart. You're forgiving yourself, and you're allowing yourself to become more of an instrument for this, again, kind of like Christ-like love. And again, when you think of Christ, like what do you think of when you think of Christ-like love? What do you think of? Again, it's more sort of the symbol of it. It's not necessarily the specifics. It's the symbol of it. Again, it's kind of like this very just like deep love, right? And so even in the story of, again, like Christ himself, like sacrificing himself on the cross, even then he's like, you know, like, oh, my Father, these people, they know not what they do. Even in that moment, he's like, this sucks. I'm on the opposite end of them, like doing something kind of horrible, but deep within my heart, I hold space for them to be able to learn from it. Like, oh my goodness, instead of just being like, screw you, instead it's just like, yo, I hope this helps you grow, sort of thing, even if it revolves like my sacrifice. But again, this card reminds us that we don't necessarily need to sacrifice ourselves quite in the way of how we think Christ like heart, Christ like consciousness and Christ like love may often entail. So again, we need to be able to make sure that we're not necessarily sacrificing ourselves, that we're actually taking care of ourselves so that we can continue to show up on a regular basis. Sharing love in new ways, sharing love in any ways brings you closer to your spiritual mission this lifetime. It also attracts prosperity and abundance. Let love in. You do not have to suffer to grow now. You just need to let love flow. So this is a very, very powerful card that's just kind of reminding us that this kind of cosmic love is literally there in any single moment. And this is a very powerful idea where it's like, at any moment in your life, you are not loved any more or any less by the universe. Literally, every single moment through your life, you are tapped into an equally abundant, infinite source of love. The universe loves you equally in any single moment. So if you can almost imagine the universe kind of seeing us from the higher perspective and kind of being like, yo, like, yeah, you might have made a mistake, but like, I still love you and I still want you to grow and I still want you to evolve from this. What if we started seeing ourselves like that from that perspective? What if we started seeing others like that, being much more gentler, still holding into accountability, but allowing ourselves to have that vision to be able to understand the importance of being able to bring in that heart intelligence and that heart awareness right here, right now, not only for ourselves, but for the relationships that we're sharing with others as well. Because through you sharing that love with others, it allows you to see more of yourself too. So I'm going to read the invocation, drop those 1111s in the chat here. But again, I think this is a very powerful card to just remind us of the power of the heart to be able to transform ourselves, transform others, and to be able to be of service for the entire collective. Because this is the journey. What do we need to do? We need to lead people back to the wisdom of their own heart. We literally need to be able to help lead people back to just like this divine tapped in feeling of understanding that they themselves are literally love incarnated, so to speak. Invocation, as I read this, just imagine you're kind of like hearing yourself read it. I call on the unconditional love of the Christ in the form of Christ consciousness, the sacred, peaceful, kind, and generous nature of my own heart. So again, I like that. The sacred, peaceful, kind, and generous nature of my own heart. That is the nature of your heart. The nature of your heart is sacred, peaceful, kind, and generous. That is the nature of your own heart. When you clear out the bullshit, when you clear off the dust, that is what your heart does. So what do you need to be able to do to be able to begin embodying that on a regular, everyday level? I open to receive an abundance of loving kindness from the universe in unlimited forms of blessing. I allow myself to give and receive freely. All that I want and need comes to me in accordance with the loving intelligence of divine timing. I feel much gratitude in my heart for the loving blessings of the grace of the universe. May the light and love of the true Christ bless the hearts of all living beings, bringing peace, joy, and divine love. Through my own free will, so be it. Beautiful. Awesome. So drop an 1111 in the chat if this card resonates with you. And again, like this card, like it doesn't, like, yeah, like I know for some people, like the Christ thing is just like, wait, what? Like, no, like I don't want to, like that's too religious and stuff like that. Again, just think of it more as like an archetypal symbolic image of, again, kind of like the nature of the heart when it has no dirt on it. What does that look like? And again, it's very, what were the words exactly? Very peaceful, kind, generous, and sacred. So what can we do to be able to help anchor in that energy by not only loving ourselves, by practicing loving others? So leave an affirmation down in the chat about how this card inspires you, and allow yourself to do that to be able to confirm for your body that you've received this message as well. So for anybody here, drop those 1111s down in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, Rainbow Prism, just reading your comments here on the Instagram. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, I encourage you to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's a primary chat, and it's easier for me to read your comments. Rainbow Prism says, when I'm unhappy, I think people in the world are against me, but it's not them. I am against me. Ooh, very, very deep, very powerful. Yeah, Rainbow Prism, thank you again for joining in, and thank you again anybody else for joining in on all platforms. Go ahead, leave some affirmations down in the comment down below. I just got to rest my voice for a bit. I've been going pretty hard on this. I'm putting a lot of energy into these broadcasts. So again, we're going to keep moving through this. We'll see. That may have been the last reading for tonight. If we do have another Patreon sign up in the next little bit, then we'll go into the next reading. Otherwise, that would have been the last reading for tonight. But we'll wrap it up here. We'll just go with the flow. We'll just read a little bit more from the affirmation. So Mary says, I allow myself to give and receive freely. Beautiful. Dandelion says, I will do everything with love. Beautiful. Well said, Dandelion. And like, what does that mean, right? Like, what does it really mean to do everything with love? Like, can you do that? What does that mean, right? To just bring that presence into everything we do, how we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others. And I think like that's a big thing in itself, right? Talking to ourselves with love. That is a powerful thing. So not enough of us do that on a regular basis. Beautiful. All right, team. Go ahead and drop some affirmations down in the chat about how that card resonates with you. So you can say like I am, or I will, or I allow. And yeah, we'll read more of those on screen. Rainbow says, I will change this world by being the example I wish to see in others. Beautiful. Well said, Rainbow. Awesome. All right, any other affirmations, go ahead and leave those in the chat. So again, team, we're kind of in a little bit of an intermission right now. We're going to just kind of see and invite a new person to be able to join onto the Patreon. If there's no new signups on the Patreon, then we'll wrap up this broadcast a little bit early in the next little bit, which is totally cool. So Cassidy says, every single word of that card was ringing. Beautiful. Haley says, love is my frequency and I endeavor to tune into myself, which is source. Awesome. Well said, Haley. Awesome. All right, just taking a moment here just to be able to double check some stuff. All right, okay, so any other affirmations in the chat, go ahead and leave those as well. All right, team. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. Cassidy says, I am the light and love of those who do not know Christ. May be the Holy Spirit work through me. Beautiful. Well said, Cassidy. Awesome. Again, I kind of like that. I like that idea where, again, a lot of people talk about like the second coming of Christ, where I like to think of it as like the Christ consciousness arriving through us. And again, that doesn't require you being Catholic or religious in any way. Again, I see that more just kind of like a symbolic thing. So it doesn't like go against like any sort of like spiritual belief. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's just like a word to be able to describe kind of like this archetypal love, this very, again, kind of like just like very just powerful, grounded, nurturing, understanding love. All right, just keeping an eye on the chats here. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys haven't yet, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And that is where the primary team chat is. Ashley says, we are protected, we are powerful, we are passionate, abundant, beautiful, and blessed. Beautiful. Ashley, thank you so much for adding your affirmations. Kristen says, I affirm to let love flow freely. Absolutely. Beautiful. Awesome, team. Awesome. Amazing seeing your affirmations. So again, for those of you who are here, if you are ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight, go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat. And so again, when you sign up on Patreon, that gives you the option to be able to join as a leading member, which gives you access to our private community space, access to our on-air team podcast, access to me as a conscious media creation coach. So again, like the signing up on the Patreon, like it's worth like way more than just $11, but we keep it at $11 to be able to make it accessible. So if you're in a position where you're ready to do that, please feel free to drop a 555 in the chat, and you can go ahead and even if you get signed up sooner rather than later, then we'll go into our next reading as well. So again, that may have been the last reading for tonight. If we have a new Patreon sign up in the next little bit, we'll absolutely go into another reading. Plus, I'll crack open the cider once we reach the 180 milestone there. Awesome. Thank you, Wolf, saying I agree, Spidey Wolf, absolutely. Cassidy says, me too. Christ consciousness resonates with me. Even as a Christian, I'm very open. Absolutely. Beautiful. All right, team. So go ahead, drop a 555 in the chat if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight. 1 second. Awesome. Sweet. All right, Cassie dropping in the 555. Yeah, Cassie, if you want to add your support to the Patreon tonight, please, by all means, go ahead. And again, for those of you who have signed up at the even at the $5 level, again, you guys can always increase to the $11 level whenever you want. Contributions only go through on July 1st. They only go through on the 1st of each month. So if you want to be able to adjust that as you go, absolutely. And again, for any other Patreon supporters, if you guys want to adjust even your pledges tonight, please feel free to do that also when you feel called to do so. All right. And again, just keeping an eye on the chat. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. I'm feeling like we'll get into a next reading shortly. I think Cassidy is signing up. And if anybody else wants to be able to sign up tonight as well, again, super appreciated. Working towards our next milestone of 182. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, that is a super awesome way not only to support myself, to support the team, but for you to also be able to receive a lot of awesome support in return. So when you sign up on the Patreon, think of it as like an investment for yourself as well. And especially for those of you who, again, are kind of like working as like conscious creators. So if you're creating conscious content on YouTube or TikTok or anywhere else, being in a community is so incredibly valuable. Being in a space where people are constantly, again, kind of like sharing and brainstorming and celebrating and creating accountability and having this routine, like it is such a powerful thing to be able to invest in for yourself. So if that resonates with you, definitely consider joining on our Patreon as a leading member. Super excited to be able to have some more amazing people synced up for that. And again, reminder, if you recently signed up for the Patreon at the $11 level or higher, make sure you connect to the team chat and make sure you let me know that you want to join as a leading member as well. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, you can click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And through that, you can also find the link to our Patreon. So right now, we're just waiting for the next Patreon to come through, and then we will go into the next reading. And that person who signs up will also be facilitating the next reading as well. Def again, confirm for me. Did you want me to add you as a leading member? Like I can literally do that right now, dude. So just confirm for me if you would like that. So yeah, we're almost at, like, we're literally there. We're almost at 180. We're just, again, I'm just gonna kind of like rest my voice for a little bit as we're here anyways. So awesome. Just making sure. I'm not sure if I'm missing comments here on the chat on TikTok. Okay, it doesn't look like it. Sweet. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, again, we're not just like, this isn't just tarot. Like what we're doing here, we're building a team. We're building a team of shifters, people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So yeah, if you're definitely looking to be able to connect with like a badass team, then definitely feel free to sign up to the Patreon, or again, even just be able to join the team chat to begin with, and you can scope things out first. So awesome. All right, definitely, and adding you as a leading member. Awesome. Just typing in the chat. Okay, cool. It looks like Cassie is signed up. Yeah, I think it just took a second to be able to update here. Did I miss something here? I think there's like a setting in my Gmail. Okay, there it is. Awesome, sweet. Cassidy, thank you so much for adding your support on the Patreon. I'll update the information on screen there in 1 second. I'm just responding to Deffigan's comment. Please feel free to add an introduction and member introductions. Beautiful. Awesome. And again, Cassidy, you would have got the link for the Discord server as well. So beautiful. Cassidy, thank you so much. And Cassidy, just curious, Cassidy, like how long have you been following my work? And for everybody here, go ahead, give a nice, huge thank you to Cassidy, and go ahead and give a nice, warm welcome as well. And let me update the on-screen graphics. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, the feed restarts every hour. So to make sure that you don't get your feed cut off, click the link in my profile to be able to jump over to YouTube. And we're about to get into our next reading. Yeah, it's 11:11 somewhere right now. Nice, nice. Right now where it is, where I am, it's 12:11, but still counts. All right, so there we go. We're at 182, and just going to update this here. Awesome. Beautiful. All right, so thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters, to Cassidy, Jamie, Jen, and Derek, and Carly as well. Beautiful. All right, just updating the on-screen. Sweet team. All right, so we'll get into this next reading. Do you guys want me to crack open the cider? Like, I'll let you guys. If you guys want me to crack open the cider, like, I'm not gonna get drunk. It'll just be like taking a couple sips. Like, it's just like celebratory. It's just nice, you know, just kind of like chilling out and everything. If you guys want me to crack open the cider, drop a 777 in the chat. So, and if you guys feel like, again, just kind of like hanging out, if you guys are like, again, just if you guys are rolling, if you guys are got some wine, if you guys are just sitting under the sky, whatever works for you. But either way, this is a chill, safe community space with a lot of amazing people. So thank you for adding your support. Beautiful, awesome. All right, team. So we'll get right into this next reading. Cassidy. Yeah, it looks like you guys want me to crack open that cider. I mean, I don't mind. Cassidy, let me know, which deck would you like to work with? The Oracle deck or the Tarot deck? So Lightworker Oracle deck or the Tarot deck? Let me know which one you would prefer. And we will go from there. So awesome. Yo, Mexi joining in on Instagram. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And yeah, let's do that. I'll open up the 1 second here. I'll open up my cider in a second. Awesome. All right, so we'll keep an eye on, again, we'll move through it. I'd love to, again, be able to like set a target to be able to get another Patreon sign up as we're here. If we can reach 182 tonight, like, yo, like, we're not that far away. Like, literally just two signups away. Like, that is pretty close. That is not far away. So again, if you guys are thinking about signing up to the Patreon tonight, go ahead and drop a 555 in the comments. And it looks like we're gonna do the tarot. So yeah, Cassidy, this is like, when we do these broadcasts like this, yeah, this is basically like a little party. Like, it's literally what it is. It's just like us, like, it's kind of like festival vibes with tarot and stuff like that. So you can imagine we're like maybe like in like a tent or in a cuddle puddle or just like hanging out under the moon, whatever you prefer. So awesome. All right, keeping an eye on the chat here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on working towards another Patreon sign up. If we can reach 182 tonight, like, yo, like, if we can reach that before I have to go to bed, like, I have to be done this by like 1:30. Like 1:30 is when I have to go to bed. All right, so congratulations to everybody for reaching 180 on the Patreon. Woohoo! Opening up the cider right now. I hope it doesn't fizz. Oh god, it probably will fizz. Oh god, I'm gonna step back. I don't want this to like go everywhere. Okay, that was good. I just had to be safe. All right, okay. So this is just like Strongbow cider. So, all right. It's been a while since I've done like drinking cider while doing tarot. So, beautiful. All right, and I just have to. Ooh, that's good. I'm silly already. All right, I'm gonna restart the broadcast on TikTok and Instagram. 2 seconds here. Beautiful. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And yeah, just allow yourself to chill out here, and we'll just kind of like hang out, download some more inspirational messages, and I'll just encode this cider with good intentions. Like, this cider, this is the taste of victory. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, okay, we're about to get into our next reading for Cassidy, our newest Patreon supporter, and again, our newest, assuming Cassidy wants to join as a leading member, our newest leading member as well. For those of you just joining on TikTok, I'm just like chugging this tarot so that we can get into, oh, I can like feel it already, so we can get into our next reading, and then I'll put on a good show for you guys. So we reached 180 on the Patreon, so that was like a little bit of a celebratory invitation for us to be able to crack open a cider, to be able to just have a little bit more fun here. Okay, let's do this. All right, Cassidy, let me know in the chat, type in the chat that you are ready. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, you can click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, and we are just about to get into our next reading. And again, let's work towards getting another Patreon sign up as well. Setting the goal for the Patreon sign up by, let's say, like 12:45, if we can get another Patreon sign up by then. Oh god. I'll just wash that down with more cider. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm a lightweight too, so all right, Tipsy Tarot, here we go. Celebratory, awesome. Yeah, okay. Woo. All right. Okay, here we go, everybody. Ready, Freddy. Perfect, Cassidy. All right, so for everybody here, let's just do our regular routine. Take a moment here to just put your hand on your chest if you wish. Join us in this little micro meditation. Just allow yourself to breathe. And just allow yourself to bring yourself into this space of gratitude. Just feeling the company of the team, taking a moment to just like imagine us like sitting in a circle together, just seeing the faces of all these amazing people, just feeling their presence, feeling their heart, feeling the celebration of this journey we call life. We are the festival. Remember that. As we're in this space of gratitude for everybody here, for you, Cassidy, as well, focus your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. What we need to see for our collective self, for our individual self. As you focus on that intention for everybody here, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Cassidy, I want you to take a few more breaths here, listen to your intuition, and when you are ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, go ahead and leave your drunk wizard noises in the chat. And I'll just charge up the deck a little bit more. And oh, how things continue to unfold, how that which is new is also that which is old. For that in itself is truly the goal, to be able to bring back to the surface that which we know, that which is here, yet we had once let go, so that we can find it again through this journey, my friends, of moving back from separation to wholeness. We will see where we stand here within this labyrinth of ever unfolding dreams as we make ourselves back to the center, so that we can see what it means to be showing up in service here within this place. And now is the time for us to show what it takes. Alright, let's see what card we have gotten. Okay, alright, this is a dope card, I'll tell you that already. So, the card that we have pulled with Cassidy, our newest Patreon supporter, helping facilitate. But again, for everybody here, if you are here, this card is for you. The card that we have pulled is card number 11, Strength. Yo, check that card out. That is a dope looking card. That is a sweet card. That's it. That's the reading. That's just look at the card. Everyone go home. That's it. That's all it is. So, all right, let me open that up real quick, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. Again, for everybody here, thank you so much for being a part of the team, for being a part of the story. What we are going to do, we are going to read from the book, and we are going to draw forth some of the information there, and then we are going to riff on it a little bit further to be able to share some additional inspiration. Like, that is my job here, to be able to, like, again, kind of like help channel inspiration. Like, I am like officially, again, just like here as your designated hype man. So beautiful. Awesome. All right, thank you again, everyone, for joining in. I'm just gonna chug some more of this. Oh god, oh god. The things I do for you guys. All right, as I'm doing this, let's work towards getting that next Patreon sign up. I would love to be able to get one step closer towards reaching 182 tonight. So again, for everybody here, if you're on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And when you're ready, sign up for the Patreon with a monthly micro contribution. Join as a leading member. And from there, this will either be the last reading for tonight, or if we get another Patreon sign up, then we'll do one more reading. So allow us to... excuse me, allow me to focus here on this reading right now. This is awesome. All right, thank you again, everyone. I'm having fun. So card number 11, Strength. Just looking at the card visually. So what do we have here? This is such a powerful image. Like, look at this image. We have this image here of like this female figure kind of like draping a cloth around a lion, or kind of like holding up a cloth that has the lion on it. I don't even know what's going on here, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. It's pretty trippy. And this woman's kind of got like this halo, which is also the moon. Like, the halo is literally her moon. And you can see she's almost like one with the stars. And this lion is kind of like this golden figure that stands before her with a palm on like this sphere that's kind of like a part of another structure. And you can see kind of the clouds and the stars kind of shining through. There's some kind of like block there in the corner. And the lion looks pretty... The lion kind of looks a little funky or something like that. Like, the lion's like... He might be a little bit drunk. I don't know. I can't tell. Or maybe that's just me. Is that lion drunk, or is it just me? And again, you can see these like rays coming in from the heavens above. So super, super powerful card. So again, let's read a little bit into it. Again, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight, go ahead, drop a 555 in the comments. Let us know. And let's read a little bit deeper into this, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more. So if you are here, this message is for you. Number 11, strength. Bum, bum, bum. The image. The powerful figure of a lion steps forth from the robe of a courageously dancing female creature. Meaning, whereas the previous developmental phase concerned recognizing the possibilities at hand, the current phase is about realizing them with the goal of obtaining solid results. Here, it is of great importance for the conscious mind to bring the subconscious driving urges under control and make use of these elementary powers. The ability to unconditionally meet the challenges of life is lent to the connection of life force, courage, and passion. The inner reconciliation of the cultivated person with his animalistic nature allows him to enjoy life in full force. Great strength lies in the connection between the unconscious archaic base force and the conscious intelligence, which only becomes useful when the two energies join. Again, if this resonates with you at any moment, drop an 1111 in the chat as we're going through this. If it's your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. Let us know. All right. On the one hand, the instinctive powers should not be repressed behind a facade of false virtue. On the other hand, an untamed, forceful longing can rob man of his spiritual sense and relegate him to a lower level of consciousness. The image of strength advises us to use given energies wisely, to gratefully appreciate life, and to take advantage of the opportunities life presents us. This can also symbolize climactic experiences or high points. The joining of two elementary forces also represents the middle path. The zodiac sign of Leo, with the sun as its ruling heavenly body, stands symbolically near the physical heart as the source of all life power for the love of all living things. In the middle of the second sequence of 7, life has reached the point of highest intensity. The high degree of realizing creative potential requires a correspondingly high measure of inner balance. Astrological significance: Sun, Moon, Leo. Key words: high points, ecstatic experiences, sexual energy, enthusiasm, positive life attitude, healthy egotism, loss of control, allowing emotions, transformation, euphoria, standing in the middle of life. Traditional meaning: lust for life, energy, unfolding center of life, extreme feelings, intensity, life quality, high points in life, stimulation, giddiness, passion, exuberance, courage. Wow, okay, so let me take another sip of that cider so I can fully decode this message. So, from here, for those of you who are new, what we're going to do, we just read from the book, and now we're going to riff on it a little bit more. This card, this strength card, is all about strength. That's what this card is about, obviously. Sorry, I'm just joking. This card is a very, very powerful card that reminds us of our potential that we have inside of us. Yet, with this power also comes responsibility. And with this responsibility, it really allows us to be able to drop into a deeper space of relationship between ourselves and these energies, to be able to shift from them controlling us to us controlling them, to be able to gain control over our base urges and our animal instincts, to be able to use it for a higher purpose. What would you rather do? Would you rather use like this powerful life force energy to literally just live your life as a hedonistic and just kind of just like live in this pleasure and this bliss and just kind of like, you know, do all the things that serve you? Or do you want to be able to use this same power to be able to cultivate it towards a higher expression of your truth? And so with this card, again, this is where, again, kind of like the woman, the female woman, is kind of like the higher conscious, and then kind of like the lion is again kind of like this primal energy instinct, which is still like equally a part of like this bigger picture. They're kind of working as a team, but when left untamed, this energetic lion energy, this kind of primal energy, can turn into egotism. It can turn into pompousness. It can turn into arrogance. It can turn into this egoic kind of mindset of this idea of being like, yo, like I'm better than you, do what I say, this is a competition, I just want to become popular, and like do all the fun things that are gonna just like satisfy my desires and my senses and everything like that. This card is again about being able to find the middle path. It is about being able to kind of like balance the power of our instincts with the consciousness of our mind, and to be able to tame the beast in a way where we can use its power for a higher purpose, for a higher good. So this is a very, very powerful card. And again, it even specifically, I like how it specifically relates to themes of enthusiasm, positive life attitude, healthy egotism. What does healthy egotism mean? Healthy egotism means, again, kind of this idea of acknowledging your divine strength, acknowledging your divine power, and not shying away from it, but at the same time, not rubbing it in other people's faces. Like, you don't want to be that person that's just like I'm so woke, I'm more woke than you, like listen to what I say and do what I do type thing, because that's what some people sound like. But again, the strongest and the healthiest form of egotism can often be kind of like the part of us that knows when not to say anything. It's very quiet, it's very gentle, but it can stand in its presence when it needs to. It will stand in the face of adversity. It will stand for its truth. It will be a guardian for that which is important to it. So even the concept, again, related to the key words here, related to sexual energy, the sexual energy that we have inside of us is the lion. Like, that is kind of like this like creative archetypal force, this like powerful creature. Roar! And so this energy that we literally use to create life is constantly moving through us all the time. And when left unconsciously, we'll usually just go through this process of, again, just kind of like spilling it here, spilling it there. And next thing you know, we're addicted to pornography and it controls us. But instead, when we begin to change the relationship, we can move that energy towards directing it. We can direct it more towards, again, kind of like our personal transformation, our daily habits, our creative expression, the way how we show up in community, the way how we show up for others. So this is a very powerful card that really relates to the potential for us to transform our life into a whole new level of potential, rather than, again, just kind of saying like, oh, I want power, I want power, I want power. Instead, it's already acknowledging the power that's inside of you, and then again being able to tame that power in a way that will help you bring yourself into a deeper place of stillness, into a deeper place of peace as well. Standing in the middle, understanding that you hold both power and responsibility in your hands at the same time. When left unchecked, the ego will just be like, oh, this power is mine, ah, ha, 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 ha. But the conscious guardian in us will be like, how can I use this power to serve? How can I use this power as fire to transform my very being? How can I use this fire to inspire other people? So if you come off as a bit of like an egoic presence, use that presence to inspire others. Use that presence as a place of leadership. Use that presence as a place of impression. Use that place as a role of influence, so that you can continue to help impact and assist others in being able to tap into that power themselves. So this is a really, really cool card that's inviting us to really step into a deeper place of our courage, where, again, we carry with us this incredibly powerful energy inside of us. The inner reconciliation of the cultivated person with his animalistic nature allows him to enjoy life in full force. Great strength lies in the connection between the unconscious archaic base force and the conscious intelligence, which only becomes useful when the two energies join. So again, that in itself is kind of the big lesson of this card. Using and acknowledging the power of our archaic, which is, again, kind of like the primal, the base aspects of our energy, the energy that's there to like literally just like survive and just like, and again, like propagate and things like that. but then again, to use the higher conscious intelligence to be able to get control of that energy, to direct it intentionally towards specific aspects of creation, both within our life and in the service to others. The image of strength advises us to give energies wisely, to gratefully appreciate life, and to take advantage of the opportunities life presents us. This can also symbolize climatic experiences or high points. The joining of the two elementary forces also represents the middle path. So again, with this card, it's really encouraging you to even just like move into this place where as you cultivate your power, you're also cultivating your confidence, which will allow you to more readily be able to strike when the iron is hot. How many times has this happened before where the universe might kind of put something in front of you, but then your confidence kind of like prevents you from actually moving forward into it? Like you might consciously see it, like your intelligence is like, oh, I see this opportunity, but then your like energy, your power center, your like animalistic primal energy is not fully in this place of confidence yet. And then again, so in that context, you'll see an opportunity and then you'll just kind of be like no, like I want to, but I don't feel ready to. And then like the opportunity just kind of like floats on by. That can happen, and no shame if it does. But again, when you're in this place where you're again kind of like building your confidence, tapping into this power, tapping into this primal power, developing a healthy relationship, again, even with like the sexual energy, if you want to be able to tap into this power, one of the best ways to do this is through cultivating your sexual energy, because that energy is literally vital force energy that moves through your body, it moves through your organs, it moves through your energetic body, it turns into willpower, it turns into confidence, it turns into decision making. And then next time you see something kind of cross your path, you'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna do it, and I don't care if I fail. Because if I fail, there's still a meaning there. There's still something important that's going to happen. Whatever choice you make will be meaningful. And even in those times when we choose not to act, there's still a meaningful lesson within that choice. And sometimes the lesson is next time I'll act. You know, have you ever had that where you do something once one way, and the reason why you do that one way is in order to be able to learn that next time you're going to do it a little bit differently? Instead of having to wait for that first lesson to repeat itself, allow yourself to act in that first opportunity as it arises. You know, allow yourself to just be able to be like, you know what, like I've got this opportunity, like I'm gonna step into this courage. The universe has put this here as something to be able to call me into my power, as a chance for me to be able to rise into this opportunity, to step into the unknown, but to step into this place with courage. And again, having the cultivated power center allow you to be able to navigate things with a little bit more confidence. So absolutely be okay with mistakes 100%. And then again, use that opportunity to be able to learn to get yourself ready for the next one. But you are doing a disservice if you are, again, constantly in this place where you're just kind of like not sharing your power, not sharing your power with yourself first and foremost. So how can you develop a deeper relationship with your personal power? By acknowledging that you are divinely powered by nature, by your birthright. You are that lion, you are that kind of cosmic goddess, kind of like holding this like cosmic, almost like what was the word that they use, a robe. The lion, the powerful figure of a lion, steps forth from the robe of a courageously dancing female creature. So let us invite the lion to bring forth the power that is naturally a part of who we are, but then to be able to create the balance so that we can show up with like a higher intensity, a higher purpose, a stronger presence, and more opportunity for us to be able to continue to transform ourselves, while also allowing emotions to be able to flow. So again, I like this idea of like healthy egotism. Where does healthy egotism comes from? Healthy egotism comes from a deep knowing of yourself. Because when you deeply know yourself, you will know how powerful you are. And sometimes you just need permission to remind yourself that you are powerful. So let this card be a reminder to really invite you to be able to acknowledge how powerful you are, but then also to be able to step into that place of responsibility to cultivate and to develop that power. And again, literally this card like is so directly related to, again, the cultivation of sexual energy. So if you're, again, kind of like spilling your cup either as a male or a female, if you're doing it in a way that feels unbalanced, reevaluate it, and begin practicing this art of cultivation, which again will kind of move this energy physically through your body, which then you can kind of like share in a very powerful way into your external reality. So traditional meaning: lust for life, unfolding center for life, extreme feelings, intensity, life quality, high points, stimulation, passion, exuberance, and courage. This is your strength. This is your call to action. Let this be a message for you to be able to say that now is the time for you to be able to develop a deeper relationship with the strength that is already inside of you. And again, so kind of like practice, a big part of that is kind of practicing removing the things that might be in the way from you giving yourself permission to be able to tap into that strength. Practice eating healthy, practice exercising, get good sleep, get good, again, sunlight, water, social interactions, all of these things. And it will help create the space for this strength and this courage to naturally be able to be nurtured and to give it a place to roam, to give it a place to run, to give it a place to grow, to give it a place to roar. Like that is your purpose, to be able to rise into your power. And again, in the process of doing so, not only do you serve others, but you help invite them to be able to tap into that power for themselves. So strength, poo, 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 poo. Such a powerful word. Drop those 1111s down in the chat. Let me know how this resonates with you. And go ahead and leave an affirmation in the chat to confirm that you heard that message. So some sort of affirmation that relates to the message that came through that for you. So go ahead. You can say like, I am the strength of the universe embodied. Da, 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 da. So so go ahead, leave your affirmations down in the chat. Awesome, good job everyone. That was a great card. That was a powerful card. Again, if you're inspired by that, drop those 1111s in the chat and let's read some of those affirmations. Calling us into our power. Lions roar. Roar. Beautiful. Awesome. Good card. Thank you again, Cassidy, for adding your intention and your energy to be able to help us in drawing that card. That was super, super powerful. Such a powerful card for the team. So again, we'll keep an eye open for those affirmations coming through the chat. And again, we'll take a little bit of a break here. That may be our last reading for tonight. If we do have another Patreon sign up, I'm cool with doing one more reading, but we'll otherwise we'll play it by ear. And if that's the last reading for tonight, not a problem. Either way, huge success tonight. So thank you again, everyone, so much just for adding your support in all forms. Yeah, let us hear your lions roar. Roar. When we do our team meditations in the morning, we do the dragon's roar, which is basically just a variation of the lion's roar. And again, when we do the lion's roar, that's like us like owning our power, like roar. So Deffigan says, I affirm that I am my own strength, the strength of the universe, and the universe strengthens me. Beautiful. Well said, Deffigan. I love that. Awesome. So go ahead, team. Take a few more moments there to be able to leave any affirmations. Whew, man. I think I chugged that cider too quick. My stomach feels weird. Ugh. Oh, man. That's hard work. Seriously, like channeling this energy is like literally hard work. I hope you guys like appreciate what goes into being able to just bring this information for you guys. Like, it's not like I'm just sitting here talking. It's like an energetic channel that's operating. So, whew, beautiful. Awesome. All right, for those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys haven't yet, please feel free to click the link in my profile to be able to join in there as well. And we'll just take a moment here to be able to read any more comments. The live stream is happening on YouTube right now. So if you're tuned in on TikTok right now, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. Heather says, that was a nice finish from last night's lesson. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Heather, as well. Awesome. Absolutely. It is magic. So beautiful. All right, team. I just got to rest my voice for a bit. Let's keep an eye on the Patreon goal. If we can get another Patreon goal, again, I was saying by like 12:45. So it's about 12:41 right now. So we're a little close. If anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight, go ahead and drop a 555. Again, if you're already signed up for the Patreon, if you guys want to increase your pledge, that's totally cool. If you guys increase your pledge, we can do one more reading. But then that will probably be the last reading for tonight, just because I have to be able to conserve my energy, because tomorrow we have our team meditation that we do 10 a.m. EST. So like I literally work like Monday to Friday, like I work like I don't even know. I don't even keep track. Like my life is working for you guys. But again, I'm honored to be able to do it, and your support means so much, because again, it's not just like, hey, this is just work. It's like, no, this is inspiring people and shifting paradigms. This is moving the story forward. This is moving the needle forward. So thank you again, everyone, for being here to receive. Cassidy says, I'm getting called into my power. I just got word I am going back to my boss lady job that really touches so many people, and I am going to have to show lots of courage. I'm psyched. Beautiful, Cassidy. That's so exciting, Cassidy. Awesome. Yeah, Cassidy, you're gonna rock that. Step into your power. Yes, I have the power. Awesome. All right, keep it a moment just to be able to keep an eye on the live chat there. Autumn says, this is what I'm talking about, dude. How do you have so much energy to share? I know, Autumn. Practice over the years. Making sure that I'm well taken care of and well fed. Like eating good food is so important for me, because again, that fuels me. So beautiful. Awesome. Cassidy, let us know how that goes. That's exciting. Beautiful. All right, team. So again, if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, or if anybody here wants to increase their Patreon pledge, I'm cool with doing at least one more reading once we have another Patreon person signed up, or if anybody here wants to increase their pledge, whatever works for you guys. Again, for those of you who are regular, you guys know that, again, signing up at the $11 membership is a super awesome way just to be able to have that support, get access to the private community space. And again, it's worth way more than $11, and that value is only going to continue to increase. So, so we'll keep an eye on things. We'll just chill out here for a bit. Again, that may have been the last reading for tonight. If we do have someone ready to sign up for the broadcast, for the Patreon, we'll do another reading on the broadcast. In the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and be drunk. Y'all ready to shift some paradigms? That's my drunk face, just... Anyways, all right. Yeah, Morphic, thanks for upgrading your pledge last night. Appreciate it. Beautiful. All right. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, so much for your support. This month has been a very, very eventful and busy month. It has flown by so fast. And again, part of my goal, like I'm working towards reaching 200 by the end of the month. Like we're gonna get close. It's gonna be close, but I still have a lot of work to do over the weekends. Obviously, like when's the last day of the month? Let me see. Sweet. So okay, cool. So we'll still have Monday and Tuesday next week. So I might do another reading tomorrow night. I might do another tarot broadcast tomorrow night. And then we'll get a few more Patreon supporters, and then that will put us pretty close. We might be close. We might get pretty close to 200. I'm close. Oh man, I'm tired. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Reminder, if you're signed up for the Patreon, be sure to check your email with the information to join the team chat, and then let me know in the team chat if you want to be able to join as a leading member. And again, you can also use your discount code for the item shop as well. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing like packaging for items to be able to send out. So beautiful. All right, we currently got about 11 people tuned in on YouTube right now, and then about 5 people tuned in on TikTok and Instagram. Or I don't even know how many people are tuned in on TikTok right now. Sometimes it says, yeah, okay, there's like 6 people tuned in on TikTok right now. So if you're one of the 6 people tuned in on TikTok, go ahead and click the link in my profile. Once you do that, you can jump over to YouTube, and you can also see the link to be able to join on our Patreon. So again, Patreon, for those of you who haven't already heard me talk about, Patreon is a super dope way to be able to help support the work that I do with a monthly micro contribution. So again, our objective during these broadcasts, you can see we're currently at 180. Look at that. 180, working towards our next milestone of 182. I was like, I want to be able to reach 182 tonight. If it doesn't happen, that's cool. But if we can get one more sign up tonight, that's totally a bonus as well. So again, if you're ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. And again, when you sign up there, you can join as a leading member, access to our private community space, access to being able to work with me as a conscious media creation coach to be able to help support you, and to be able to join our on-air podcast, discounts for the shop, and lots of cool stuff. All right, I'm going to take a nap, and let me know when someone signs up for the Patreon. Just need to close my eyes just for 2 seconds. I'm good. I just need a rest. Yeah. Oh man, that feels really good. I actually actually really could fall asleep here. So awesome. Thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters, Cassidy, Jamie, Jen, and Derek. Awesome. All right. So we'll see, team. I think that we'll see. Like, if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. I think that maybe it's possible that might have been our last reading for tonight. Like, it's not up for me to decide. The universe has its own will. So I'm just here to be able to help facilitate it. So Cassidy's telling me to go to bed. So maybe that means I have to go to bed. So, I mean, I literally do have energy to do one more reading. And I would love to be able to reach 181 on Patreon. But again, you guys can kind of decide. You guys can kind of decide if you're ready to upgrade your Patreon pledge, go ahead and do that. Again, when you upgrade it to the $22 level, you get more discounts for the shop. When you upgrade to the $33 level, you have the option to be able to get like a shifter booster kit on a bi-monthly basis. So if you guys want, go ahead and leave your social media links in the chat. Go ahead, leave your TikTok or your Instagram in the chat. And then that way more people can connect with you there. So let me just take a moment here to be able to make sure that I'm not missing any important messages. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right, team. Well, I had fun doing Tipsy Tarot. And so thank you again, everyone, for joining in. I think this is going to be, again, just kind of like last call on any new Patreon sign up. So again, if we have a new Patreon sign up, we'll do one more reading. You can get us up to 181 on the Patreon. However, if we're calling it a night, that's totally cool too. So that was a good mission accomplished. We went from 176 to 180. So that's still pretty good. That's like 4 or 5 hours of hard work to be able to help make that happen. And again, it's not just the Patreon, it's the seeds we plant. Beautiful. All right, so if you guys are tuned in and you want to be able to join on the Patreon, drop a 555 in the comments just to be able to let me know, and we'll stick around for a few more minutes. But other than that, I think we're probably about ready to wrap it up. So even though we do have 11 people tuned in right now, so if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead, let me know. I'm gonna turn off these lights. These lights are bright. I'm gonna turn off that light. Awesome. Mary, thanks for joining in. Good night, Mary. Okay. Dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. All right, if you're here, if you're tuned in for the first time, drop a 333 in the chat. Let me know. So, open. Excuse me. All right, okay, team. Last call. If anybody is ready to either upgrade their Patreon pledge or sign up for the Patreon, we'll do one more reading. Otherwise, I'm totally cool with going to bed in the next couple minutes and just calling it a night. And then again, we got our team meditation tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. EST. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in, for adding your supports. Drop a 555 in the chat if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon tonight. And that way so we can know. So I'm just gonna chill out here for a second. Awesome. Cassie, thanks so much for joining in. Have a beautiful night, and again, please feel free to connect to the team chat, and we'll be able to follow up there as well. So Awesome. All right, team. I think we're about ready to call it a night. It doesn't look like there's anybody who's signing up for the Patreon right now, which is totally cool because again, we did an awesome broadcast tonight. And so, last call. If anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, which again, it gives you access to our private community space and lots of other cool perks and rewards and hidden videos. Again, you can do that through the link in my profile. You guys can sign up at any point. And again, if we do get one more Patreon sign in the next couple minutes, we'll do one more reading. But other than that, I think this is our last reading for tonight, which was good because we had, how many readings did we even do tonight? Quite a few. So beautiful. Awesome. All right. Last call on any Patreon signups. Drop a 555 in the chat if you guys would like to sign up for the Patreon, and we'll do one more reading. Awesome. Thanks, Morphic. All right, team. All right, we're going to wrap up this broadcast. Thanks again, everyone, for joining in. It was fun. I had a beautiful time just hanging out with everybody. For those of you who haven't yet, please feel free to click the link in my profile to be able to join our team chat. And you can also connect into my Patreon to be able to learn more about becoming a leading member. You can sign up at any point. And yeah, looking forward to being able to hang out with you some more. I may be doing another broadcast tomorrow night. We shall see. Working towards our future Patreon objectives. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can message me through the team chat or through DM on Instagram. And thank you so much for joining in. Just sending you guys like so much love and inspiration. It was a joy. It was fun. And I always look forward to being able to hang out with you guys again in the many forms that we do. So for those of you who haven't yet, click the link in my profile. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to explore more on my YouTube channel. Connect to our team chat if you wish. And you can also sign up on Patreon when you're ready. For everybody else here, go ahead, leave some comments and gratitude down in the chat. Wrapping up this broadcast. Good job, everyone. Go get some sleep. Go get some rest. And thank you so much for being all that you are. So the light guardian within me sees and honors the light guardian within you. Thank you for being all that you are and doing all that you do. So beautiful. All right, wrapping up the broadcast. Thanks again, everyone. I'll see you guys in the team chat. Much love.